Positive energy all the time. Here we go. Here we go. Late night. Late night. We at it. We are at it ever since we have been delineating. A lot has been revealed. We don't have as many friends and allies as we thought we did. So let's get it going. We got the beautiful Arnell, from New Orleans in the building. We got Rochester in the house. Everybody on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and my other Facebook. Shout out to you all. I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. We got Atlanta, Georgia in the building. And we've had a tornado in the south suburbs tear up quite a bit of property. The weather is getting pretty bad. We got Chicago in the building. Yeah, the weather is getting pretty bad. I was live when that tornado hit. If you were watching me earlier, you heard me say, I think the electricity might go out. Well, at that time, buildings were getting torn up in the south suburbs. We got Vallejo in the building. Vallejo became one of my favorite cities in the world that I had never been to because of my large support for E40 and the Click. E40 and the Click introduced me to Vallejo. I could have thought I was from Vallejo. Yeah, man. E40 and the Click, man. Hey, man, they one of my favorite, man, in the world. Real talk. Yeah, boy. Vallejo, E40, D-Shot, Sugar T, Be Legit. Hey, them my peeps right there. Boy, I was supporting them when they came straight out the underground. Yep. Straight out the underground. I've been supporting them. Yeah, Vallejo brings back memories. Oh, man. Sprinkle me, baby. Sprinkle me. We got Dallas in the building. Hey, man. The Wii 58, boy. I was on that E40 and the Click. I ain't going to hold you. I wish I still had all my CDs. My CDs got burnt up in a house fire when I broke up with my queen, and I had a bunch of stuff still at the house. Man, I seen them in concert with Big Pun, E4 and the Click, Big Pun, Crucial Conflict's debut, and 8 Ball and MJG. Whoa, hey, one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life. When Crucial Conflict came out, Chicago went crazy. Right there on 79th at the Regal Theater, they were brand new. Only people that have been listening to Pink House, rest in peace to Pink House, knew their songs. Oh, man, what a show. E40 killed it. I think that's when he had Slur and K, but you can call it Hurricane. Oh, man, that's my man. So you all, on the late night, here I am starting trouble. We got the DMV in the house. We got the beautiful and gorgeous Sharon Sutton. I need me a Sharon Sutton. I ain't gonna lie. I need, girl, stop. Cutie pie. I have to control myself with these ladies. They be bad. Ooh wee. So here I go starting stuff. I'm very disappointed with black immigrants and blacks in the diaspora. They have totally betrayed foundational black Americans. Totally. Totally. When you look at black immigrants, they don't bring anything to the table. They just eat off the table. And they come to the United States, they just eat off the table, eat off the table, eat off the table. They don't put any food on the table. They don't have any camaraderie with us. They're just leeching off of our accomplishments. And I couldn't tell back in the 80s or in the 90s, but after so long, you could tell, like, okay, you all ain't never going to bring nothing to the table, huh? You just here to take, take, take. You really don't want to be here and really don't like us. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying 95% are of no benefit, but are using up benefits, taking up space in the way. They not cool nowhere. What are they doing for blacks in Detroit? Nothing. Sponging. Tell that to somebody else. They ain't bringing nothing to Detroit. Man, listen. I don't know why people talk to me like I only be in Chicago. I got big family in Detroit. As a matter of fact, I used to work the Caribbean Fest in Detroit. Black immigrants is the same everywhere you go. Don't try to act like they different because they in Detroit. No. They do nothing for foundational black Americans. They eat off the plate. They don't put nothing back. Yeah, okay. If you say so, I don't believe that. But if you say so, I don't believe it. And then we don't want you opening business. We want to open the businesses. We don't want to work for you. We don't want to work for you. We don't want you come here buying businesses in our community and hiring us to be the help in our country. But if you think that's a good thing, that's on you. But to me, it ain't no good thing, me working for no Nigerian or no African here in the United States where my people been the whole time. But if that's a good thing to you, this proves my point. I ain't working for no black immigrant. That sounds crazy. Talking about you gonna come here to my country and give me a job. Well, you need to repeat that in the mirror. You need to look in the mirror and say that 4 times. Yeah, look in the mirror and say that 4 times that they come here and get the opportunity to hire you and you the dusty worker and they the boss in your country, in your city, in Detroit. You from Detroit, you from Michigan, you working for a black immigrant. Let that sink in. Well, how they get more opportunity than you? Why y'all ain't opening the businesses? You was a black immigrant. You a black immigrant trying to pretend you FBA. Yeah, it's all coming out. But I ain't finna argue with nobody named Kaboom. You scary. I ain't gonna argue with you. You scary and you slow. Putting all them weapons on your page, incriminating yourself. Listen, boy, bye. Boy, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere, I'm not listening to no damn Kaboom. Get your goofy ass out of here. You were tethered, allegedly, supposedly. I know. You know what I'm saying? I know. I know who you are. Get your ass out of here. Talking about black Americans could buy businesses, da 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 da. Talking crazy. Talking about black Americans ain't getting no business because they buying Jordans. Boy, I tell you, people be sounding stupid. Ain't nobody buying Jordans like that. Dude, that's a stereotype. Hey, you see that? That's a tethered stereotype that we buying Jordans like that. Man, listen, the amount of money that black Americans spend on Jordans is not hurting nothing. And Tethers got on mad Jordans. Dudes be lying. Immigrants got on mad Jordans. Crazy. I'm not going to waste my time talking to you. You don't bring nothing to the table. In no damn Detroit. Boy, you lying. You don't bring nothing to the table nowhere. Black immigrants are of no benefit to foundational black Americans and haven't been. You cannot trust a person that moved to your country but love where they from. And they cannot compete with the person that love where they at. And one of the biggest problems with immigration all over the world is people moving into a country, but their heart is into the country they left. And so you're not going to get 100% from a person that comes to your country, but only upholds their country. That person is just taken. Because why don't they go to the country they love? I think that's a decent question. You love your country so much. You're so proud of your country. But you left it. At that point, that becomes an insult. And then you try to brag how much you fixing up somebody else's country, but you ran from your country and you can't fix that up. So your ability to fix things is false, because if you had the ability to make things better, you wouldn't flee your country. You don't have ability to make nothing better. Not really. And when they get these businesses, they don't have to pay no taxes for 7 years. So I bet you do open a lot of businesses. After 7 years, you pass it down to your brother, and he don't have to pay no taxes. So you got a tax-free business, and you're bragging that you're doing so well. But it's not a fair competition because you're competing with people got to pay taxes. What about the first wave of immigration came to America? When? What year are you talking about? What year is that? You talking about like originally when they founded the country? Or because the first wave would be Christopher Columbus. You know what I'm saying? It would be the first wave. You understand? Would be the slave owners. Okay, so when you say, what about it? What you want me to? The first wave that come in the 1890s and 1900s, if you're building a country, they wouldn't really be considered immigrants after the fact of the matter. So if you come here from Italy, you come here from wherever, then you build a country, and next thing you know, it's 1976 and 2000. You would be the original people that built the country. So at that point, you would be American. Now, everybody that comes later would be official immigrants. So it's like if I come from somewhere and there's no house and I build a house, yeah, I came from somewhere, but I built the house. Now, when you come and move in the house, you're not the same as me. I built the house. Now, if you come here after I fought in the Revolutionary War, after I fought in the Civil War, after I fought in World War One, after I fought in World War Two, after I fought Vietnam Desert Storm, my blood is in the soil. I'm officially an American. You ain't got no blood in the soil. So at what point can you say when you're one generation that you're the same of people that have been here since the 1800s? You're not the same. The people that have been here since the 1800s are not immigrants. They are founders, builders of the country. And then the ones that come after the cake is baked and after the food is ready, those are the immigrants that come after the food is ready. The people that came, the Germans and them came, they became Americans. They stood on Americans. They are today considered Americans. But the immigrants that come over here now, they are not Americans. They don't claim to be Americans. My friends is Jamaicans. They don't claim America at all. My friends is Trinidadians. They Nigerians. They not like the ones that became Americans. The ones in the 1800s became Americans. The immigrants come here now are not Americans. They never become Americans. They are users. That's my problem. They're users. They never become Americans. Never. So if you're in a country and you claiming where you came from, you're not an American. You a Trinidadian. You are a Jamaican. If you come to America and you waving your island flag, you are an invader. You're not like if you come from Germany and you waving the German flag, and then there's a German been here since the 1800s that has up a U.S. flag. You all ain't the same. The one that came that's got a German heritage that considers themselves now an American under the American flag, it's not like the tether that would come here that's still waving a German flag. You don't see white Americans that came to this country in 1800s talking about their country. The only people you see can constantly talk about their country is the new ones. This is why I couldn't deal with the Rastafarian movement, because the Rastas from the Caribbean are liars and fake and perpetrators. They do not represent Africa. They represent Jamaica and Trinidad. And when these brothers and sisters come to Chicago, they'll have their Haile Selassie Day stuff and they'll invite us, but you never see the black immigrants get involved with anything we have. Anytime foundational Black Americans have our jazz fest and our stuff, you don't see these tethers. They do not participate in anything we do. They'll invite us to participate in what they do. They'll start rapping like us and they'll jump in hip hop like us. But you're not invited into none of their music, none of their culture, nothing. That's separated. And so anytime you come to a country because you've had to leave your country and you wave your flag, you're foul. You're foul. Because if you love your country, stay in your country. That's like you're not doing good in your home. So you say, Pharaoh, can I come live with you? And I say, yeah, you can come stay with me for 3 months. And you come stay with me 3 months and all you talk about is your home, your home, your home. But you stand in my house. You stand in my house. You said your home wasn't shit. That's for all you Jamaicans, all you Caribbeans, all you Africans. Y'all are not like us. Y'all professional runners, whether it's your mama or whoever. You ran from your country. You came to America. Cool. If you Americans. But to run from Trinidad and come here with the Trinidad flag, to run from Jamaica, but constantly got the Jamaican flag, you are insurgent and you're a fraud. Because why should we have to be bothered with your goddamn flag? Go home with your flag. Go back to Jamaica with your flag. And this is only right. You're in America. You're eating off America, but you're bragging about over here. It's like marrying a woman, but always talk about how good your ex cooked. It's foul. It's out of line. Totally foul to me. And it's gotten to the point where it's really becoming disgusting. It's something we overlooked in the 80s, in the 90s, but now 2026, 2027, I ain't feeling that. I'm not feeling that. I want them all deported. You love Jamaica? Deport them. Send them back to Jamaica. Because you can't have 1 foot over here and 1 foot over there. You want to concentrate over here and become an American citizen? Then fine. But if you hell-bent on being a Jamaican, take your monkey ass back to Jamaica. It'll be better for all of us. Go back home. Because you've got to be a user. Anytime you run to a country for a better life, but you still embrace the country you ran from, and you don't embrace the country that saved you, you a user and a loser. You were disrespectful. You coming and saying you coming for a better life, but you don't respect the place that gave you a better life. You keep upholding the place that didn't give you a better life. And then I am a Black American. I ain't got no other place. So me and you, we're not going to get along. I'm not going to get along with you. This is where I'm from. You're from somewhere else. You're not claiming this. So I'm going to want you to get out. On top of that, the Black diaspora is of no help to foundational Black Americans. They are total no help. None. There is no way foundational Black Americans should help any Black immigrants because they are absolutely of no benefit to us at all. They're eating off the table. They taking away jobs. They taking away housing. But they are not adding anything to our struggle. They're making our struggle much harder. And this is not hate. This is sociology. This is economics. This is housing. This is medical. They're in the way. They're really enemies to me. To me, black immigrants are enemies, not to the point where you want to fight, but enemies in terms of they are just trying to take away. They're not my friends. They don't want to be here. And they're only here to use the country for what they can get. That's it. Like moochers, like leeches, like lights. They're just sucking blood. That's it. You can't, how disrespectful can you get to come to America waving a Jamaican flag all day? Everybody's going to say, well, why you don't go to Jamaica? You love Jamaica. You just love it. You just love it so much. But you're in Chicago. That makes sense, y'all? Look, I'm going to keep it real. Let's take me, because I could put me as an example. There is no way I would move to Ghana and wave a U.S. flag. Me. I can speak for myself. To me, that would be totally disrespectful. To me, myself. So if I believe that with myself, then I believe that with you. Myself, I would not leave America and say I want to move to Ghana because I want to be there. I think it's better. And I would not go to Ghana and wave a U.S. flag. To me, that's foul. That would be the ultimate disrespect to me, to Ghana and to the U.S. Because the U.S. wasn't that great, I left it. But then I'm going to wave the U.S. flag over there. And then I came to Ghana looking for a better life. And I'm going to wave the United States flag in Ghana? That makes sense? Does that make sense to anybody? Does that make sense for me to move to Ethiopia and wear red, white, and blue every day and brag about America? Let's break it down. Let's break it down to cities. When I lived in L.A., you know one of the biggest problems kept happening that some Black Americans kept doing? They kept talking about their city. That was some of the biggest disrespect ever. That brothers would be in L.A., talk about New York, 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 in L.A. When I lived in L.A., I lived in L.A. I didn't say a damn thing about no Chicago when I was in L.A. When I lived in Hawaii, I lived in Hawaii. I was not bringing up Chicago or L.A. in Hawaii. When I was in Hawaii, I did as the Hawaiians, out of respect. I'm not going to go to Hawaii walking around with a shirt on, say Chicago. That is disrespect, period. And in ancient times, that was a sign of war. Look it up. Look it up. In ancient times, if you lifted another flag in somebody else's country, you had to be coming with a group to talk to the king, and you showing your flag out of respect that you from somewhere else and you coming to talk to the king. That would be upset. They'd open up the drawbridge and let you in. You in Germany, you got your Belgian flag. Cool. But you couldn't just be in Germany riding around with no Belgian flag. Look it up. You couldn't wave no flag in no other country like people doing now. That was considered treason and an act of war. Look it up. That's an act of war and it's disrespectful. You understand? And this is why black immigrants are being deported from everywhere because they're looked at as leeches because they never really respect where they go. And nobody gonna let you stay somewhere you don't truly respect. They all over the world, Africans with them African flags. And people don't like it. People don't like it. I had a Jamaican Haile Selassie Day event here in Chicago, and I didn't go because I'm kind of sick of always going to Jamaican events. But when black people, we don't, Jamaicans don't come to none of our stuff. They don't really come and really, they cool, don't get me wrong. But in terms of it being even, Stephen, it's never even. It's always about who can come to their dance hall, who could come to their stuff. But you don't see black immigrants come and participate in none of our cultural events. They don't come. And if the Africans come, they only come to make money. They'll come and set up a booth and take money, but they don't really be authentically being involved with anything we got going on. They don't really respect, black immigrants don't respect us or deal with us. They only here because their country sucks. But then they waving their country flag. You here because your country is trash. That's why you're here from Jamaica. You are here from Jamaica because Jamaica sucks. So why do you have a Jamaican flag? You were here from your African country because your African country sucks, okay? So you left. So what do you look like waving the flag of a place that sucks? Hey, I love the place that sucks that I had to run from. I love the place I ran from. Oh, I love it. I love Jamaica. I love the Jamaica I ran from. Oh, yeah, it's great. Jamaica in Chicago, in New York, in Miami. You holler in Jamaica. You holler in Haiti. You got a Haitian flag in Florida. You so proud of Haiti, but you ran. You won't go home and fix your country. You won't go sweep and mop. And then one of you come over here and call us dirty black Americans that her family flee her country. And she come over here and disrespect us. Trying to look like a black American woman, trying to act like a black American woman, doing her hair like a black American woman, doing her makeup like a black American woman, her whole way she dressed, her whole swag is a foundational black American woman. And then turn up her face and disrespect us in our country when she had to run from her country. And you wonder why. We want all of you the hell out of here. Because that was a revelation on how really all of y'all are, to be honest. To me, no black immigrants really want to be here. And they just here to eat. And when you live around somebody that don't really want to be around you, it's not comfortable. They're like, I don't want to be here, but I got to be here to feed my family off of what y'all built. And I don't want to give y'all no respect for building what I'm eating off of. That's basically what's going on. They eating off of all black immigrants are eating off of foundational black Americans. This is why we beefing with them. Because they're eating off of our sweat. We the ones made it where blacks could go and drink off a water fountain. If it wasn't for our grandparents and great-grandparents and stuff, you Jamaicans and stuff couldn't drink off no water fountain. Y'all couldn't go to no restroom. If it wasn't for Rosa Parks, y'all wouldn't be able to get on no plane. Y'all wouldn't be able to get on no bus, no train. So imagine a black immigrant coming over here and don't got a picture of Rosa Parks up in their house. Every black immigrant should have a picture of Rosa Parks in their house Because without her, you never could have got on a plane. If we couldn't get on the bus, what make you think you can get off on a plane? They're having problems with other controlling countries because Africans is weak. Black Africans don't got no military, don't want to build no infrastructure, nothing. And when they come to our countries, they the same way. They don't build nothing. They just take, take, take. They come to eat and to take. That's it. Because these are not our brothers and sisters. These are people that's trying to eat off our plate. Period. They're trying to eat off the foundational black American plate. The original black Hollywood star, the original black NBA star, the original person that crossed the color lines. Okay? That's why. Without respecting that we fought to be on, Jackie Robinson fought for you to play sports. Period. So how is you an African come and play any kind of sports and you don't got a picture of Jackie Robinson up in your house? This black American is the reason I could come from Africa and play sports. No respect for the blood, sweat, and tears from foundational black Americans. I mean none. None. They have no respect. You bring your black ass all the way from Jamaica with pictures of Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey. Leave that shit down in Jamaica. When you come up here, you respect Martin Luther King. That's what you do when you come up here. Because Bob Marley and them ain't got nothing to do with what you're doing here. Neither do Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey didn't do shit for us to be able to move around here. MLK is the reason we move around here. Marcus Garvey's not the reason we can get on the bus and walk around. Marcus Garvey got nothing to do with us moving around in this country. Not a damn thing. We didn't get free till 1970. Marcus Garvey ain't freed nobody or did nothing of no serious substantial meaning, but by some raggedy ass boats that wasn't seaworthy and took a lot of people money and got locked up by the feds. Don't make me go that direction. I don't want to, don't make me really do. I'm just keeping it real. And I'm just sick of them. You know, I'm sick of black immigrants. I'm just sick of them. They in the way. And it's like when you got people in the way, you got people eating off the table, you got people taking away resources, but they ain't never in the fight. You know, they got to go. They got to go. And black immigrants, they're not bringing none to the table. They in the way, really. They're slowing down our progress. They're used as a distraction. They're used by the system so that they don't got to help us. And they come in and they be proud that they're a distraction. They're used so that we cannot be dominant That's what they're used for. They're used to block out where we going. I'm telling you. So that whites stay on top. Bring in some more blacks, water down the blacks with a bunch of immigrants that's not going to ride with the blacks so that whites could be dominant. That's the job of black immigrants, to water down our progress. Exactly. Exactly. And they love them. Oh, man. Boy, you go work at them hospitals and stuff. Would you tell them, Tangela? Go at the hospital and see the black immigrants. When I used to drive Uber, and I pull up to the hotel, you should see them Africans. They come out. Why are you here? Fool, because I'm driving Uber. He'd be like, why are you here? He knock on my window. Doo, 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 doo. Why are you here? And sometimes the whites that's checking out that I pulled up, pick up, walk behind them. And when they walk behind me, go, they get their bags. Even some of the whites say, why you treat you like that? And would give me the tip. It would be two different black people. It'd be one crazy, mean black person when he talking to me and jumping and smiling when he talking to them. And then he's slow. He's slow, so they got to go. Because listen, bruh, you do know you in Chicago, and you do know you work right there, and you do know I be outside, and you do know I got a lot of friends. But because I don't be really on no violence, I just get a brother a pass. But to be honest, bro, don't you know that could go bad? Don't you know I could go home, pick up the Goonie Goons, and come up here? Now I got to turn the other cheek and not be pushing no violence, because that's not what I'm pushing. I'm just telling you, I used to be looking at them like, dude, da 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 da. Like, do you understand who you're playing with? Do you understand you're in Chicago, in my city? I was born in 1958, down here playing, where I got hundreds and hundreds of associates and friends. Are you serious? And you dusty here from Africa playing in my city? I used to be at home sometime thinking I should make some phone call, pick up some people, and go back down to that job dressed like a tourist and do a little straightening. I'm not saying no violence, because you can't say that on YouTube. I'm just saying they slow too. Because why would you come to Chicago, one of the blackest cities in America, and play with a foundational black American? Bruh, that could go bad. So that tells you I gave him a pass, right? But he wouldn't give me no pass in Africa. They would attack me in Africa where he from. Where he from, they would attack me. Where I'm from, I give him a pass. Where he from, he showed me how he would treat me in his country like dirt. But yet he walk around my country and we give him a pass. But how long they gonna keep getting a pass? And so if Mr. Charlie want to get him out of here, bon voyage. I've gotten to the point where I want all black immigrants deported. Now I got some friends that black immigrants. They say, "Why would you say that?" I say, "You ain't stop them, right? You ain't stop them. You know, I'm just sick of them. You know what I'm saying? I gotta check your file. I gotta see how long you've been over here. I gotta see where your heart is at. Like all of this, good guy. I'm telling, listen, that shit is over. as is over. Black immigrants have ruined themselves in the United States, and they got nobody to blame but themselves. They have created a horrible reputation for themselves. They have created that reputation. And everywhere they go, they create that reputation. Even in Africa, as you see going on in South Africa, where the Ghanaians and Nigerians come into other brothers' territory and they don't even respect other Africans in their own territory. How you a Nigerian or Ghanaian, how you go to South Africa and disrespect the brothers and sisters in their country to the point they got to go tear up all your shops and chase you out. Now, this is how this is how you behave in Africa. No, they need to deport Nigerians and Ghanaians and them. Get them out of here. Because they represent tribal war. And if you look at the position of black people around the world, and you look at how many black men are in Africa, it's safe to say that the main people, the reason that black people is oppressed is the black male in Africa. The black male in Africa got the largest numbers, right? So if people of dark color have been conquered, they are the main army that let it happen. Everything globally that's got black people down, black Africans are responsible. Black African men are responsible for the plight of melanated people all over this world. It's their fault. They got the biggest army, and they let them people come take the whole North Africa, Egypt, and everything. The black man in Africa is weak and has put black people globally at risk. That's a fact. He's got no backbone. He's a hater. He pushes tribal war and division. He doesn't represent anything positive in the world. And any African want to have this debate, we can have this debate. But if you got the most people and black people in a depression, then you're the punk. You're the punk. And it's evident because all over Africans, all over Africa, Africans are some weirdos. Look at the Ethiopians. Look at the Somalians. They all, no, I'm not black, I'm Somalian. There's something wrong with them over there. They don't represent no type of building and no type of unity. They represent total division. And we would be crazy to expect anything positive from people that come to a divisive, self-hating continent. That's where they come from. That's why they've never accomplished as much as us, because we had to unite in this country coming up in 200 years. Yeah, you want to practice around the world because Africa ain't got no money and Africa ain't nothing. And if he practices in Africa, he's still practicing in Europe because Africans don't control Africa, John. That's why he might as well practice it. Black African men don't run Africa. Africa is ran by Britain, France, China, Belgium, Russia. The black man don't control Africa. He don't. But my problem is you over here because of this day right here. Without this day right here, no African would be able to get on no airplane because you couldn't even get on the bus. Basically, cutie pie. It don't make no sense. This day right here was the day that we was allowed to get on the buses and trains. I was a little boy. I was a little boy. I was born in 1958, black people, and you could not go to any restroom or get in the train when I was born. All of that happened in 1964. Okay? I'm born in 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. I was 6 years old before black people could get on a bus or a train or use a restroom. I was 6. And a lot of black immigrants don't understand. A lot of foundational black Americans don't understand that. This is when the United States realized they was losing money. The Civil Rights Bill was passed because the United States realized they didn't have enough white people to do the work. And all of these blacks that had migrated to the North, they cannot run this country unless they include them into the system. Because the country, this is some knowledge for you younger people, because the country was still suffering from the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression and World War II. So the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl and World War II had America struggling. These white men got together and said, to hell with racism, we got to get some money. We can't do this. It's not enough of us to get this country on track. We need all hands on deck. Straight up. That's why they signed the Civil Rights Bill. That's a fact. I can give you the history over here too. That's why they signed that. They had to sign it because the Great Depression had totally ruined the country. Nobody had no jobs. These are facts. And between that and the Dust Bowl, America was starving. Because the Dust Bowl ruined all the food. And everybody was starving. White people were starving. I ain't kidding. When I say starving, I mean starving. Okay? I mean starving. Real talk. Nobody gonna tell you this history. You understand? And we were the major factor. If you look at this was the Great Depression. You see these black men in line? You don't see nobody doing no race hate. Why? They were starving. It was like, man, later for racial hate. What's the benefit of being white? We still hungry. We starving. We committing suicide left and right. Racism is silly. That's how they started looking at it. Like we starving. We can't do this by ourselves. We need every American to get busy. Let's look. That's them trying to get jobs. Look how primitive the cities used to be. Don't you know? Black Americans, the one that jumped in to clean these cities up and get these trains running, these planes flying, and these buses. We the ones that helped all that happen. That's why they freed the slaves. They're like, man, we don't need you down there picking on cotton. We got enough cotton up here. We need somebody up here to work. Now, y'all white people in the South was crazy. We're going to free these blacks and get them up here. Because we starving. They said, man, later for that, man. Later for that. We need these blacks up here. Okay? Because we got this cotton. But how we going to process it? Once we got all this cotton up here, how we going to process it? We need some people up here so we can make some clothes, make some sweaters. Look. Look at all that cotton came to the north. Look. This picture says it all. They needed people to come to process the cotton once they got here. Because once they got the cotton gin, they was making too much cotton. They didn't have nobody to deal with it once they shipped it up here. Look, this is a mess, ain't it? This is why they signed the Civil Rights Bill. They needed people to come and work at these factories to make these books, to make these sweaters, to make these pants, to make potato chip factories, donut factories, cereal factories, bread factories. They got machinery down there in the South now. So they producing too fast. They need the hands up here. They don't got no machines to do this work. This work got to be done by hand. They said, man, let them black people from down there, they need to come up here. We're going to pay you. We're trying to get money. This picture says it all. Look at all that cotton. If they don't get more people up here to process this cotton going to rot out there in them elements getting rained on. They got to get that cotton out of there. And you can see the gangster in the center with the black coat on. You can see the boss. You can see the white worker with the white sleeves out in the center. You can see the shooter on the left. The white shooter with the trench coat on with the gun in his pocket. The shooter. You can see the gangsters. You can see the boss with the jacket on right there to the right of the center. You see that gangster, the boss? And you can go to the left, and the one with the trench coat on with his hand in his pocket, that's the shooter. And then the one in the middle with the apron on, that's the worker. And he the one tell the blacks what to do. And dude in them is there checking the bag, checking on their money. It's a heavy picture right here. That's a deep picture. So the diaspora, when it comes to us get our reparations, they get to talking. Right? Nah, we ain't. He said the FBA better get it correct. Nah, we ain't messing with you, Shabaka. We want you to get lost. Yeah, we not messing with you. You and your kind ain't brought nothing to the table. You pro-black brothers, y'all had y'all chance. Hey, Shabaka. I was pro-black, young Rasta from 1978. And you pro-black losers, you're fired. You can't bring nothing to the table. You pro-black dudes talking unity, y'all never united, Shabaka. Y'all never brought nothing to the table. Y'all ain't opened no businesses. Y'all ain't got nothing. Shabaka, you got no business. You ain't hiring nobody. You just Shabaka. As a matter of fact, that's not even your name. You is one of these fake pro-black brothers. Y'all didn't even change your name. Like Sarah Soon said, it ain't his name. His name Blunt or something. Y'all ain't even standing on, listen, this big Pharaoh. Y'all was bootleg Malcolm X followers. Y'all wasn't no real Malcolm X followers. You a fraud, bruh. You still got a slave name over here. That's why you try to call yourself Shabaka. You know, your name not Shabaka. Your name like Reggie Johnson or something. You over here standing and perpetrating like you like standing on some pro-black stuff. No, you not. Your name Johnson or Smith or something, bruh. You ain't standing on no Malcolm X, nothing, bruh. That's why you're over here with a bootleg name. And you want us to follow a bootleg pro-black dude? You pro-black dudes didn't have since 1960 to now. What have y'all accomplished? Before there was the FBA, before FBA, Shabaka, what has your group accomplished? Nothing. Because of bootleg pro-black dudes like you on the internet, outside fronting, right? Bro, listen, I'm the king of, I was doing Pan-Africanism when you were still sucking your mother's titty. You a little boy. This big Pharaoh. You was a little boy. Oh, myself. You was a little boy. Not only can I deal with you in Pan-Africanism, I could deal with you outside. You can't come outside. You got no military movement or nothing. You cannot come to Chicago and deal with me. You have no power. You're not standing on nothing, bruh. You a baby. These is facts. You a bootleg Pan-African. With all due disrespect. You not standing on nothing, you bootleg. You ain't standing on nothing, bruh. You over here lying, y'all. He lying. He ain't on nothing. That man ain't no real Pan-African like that. He ain't nothing. He ain't nothing. He fake. I've been doing this since I was a baby. He can't even deal with this Pharaoh. This Pharaoh shut him down. If you stand him next to this Pharaoh right now, you'll see who was a revolutionary and who's an internet troll. He couldn't even deal with this Pharaoh. Physically, mentally, militarily, conscious-wise, eating-wise, Black history-wise, and nothing. Him and his group is losers. Okay? Losers. Straight losers. And I was in Hawaii growing herb, bro. I was a big-time grower. And I came back because my wife got pregnant. But yeah, you ain't on nothing. Go find somebody else might want to talk to you. I just want the audience to know you a fraud, Shabaka. Your movement is over. You over. You trash. We foundational Black Americans. If it really upsets you, get off the internet and come outside. That's all I could tell you. Come outside. Come outside. If you're really that upset, come outside. Simple as that. Get off the internet. Come outside. Let's make it shake. Let's shake it up. I'm 68. I shake it up. I shake you up. You know what I'm saying? You're a fraud. Pan-Africanism and everything that he ain't representing nothing. Everything he represents is trash. He's perfect. Because this is what I'm talking about. The Black diaspora has betrayed us. Black Pan-Africanism has betrayed us. All of that stuff, young Black people, is fraudulent. All of it. It's good he came so you could see. Those brothers like that, they never brought nothing to the table. They had many, many years already. They never brought nothing to the table. And when you see brothers like that talk unity, right, they never say it to the Africans. So we're still on point. He will never try to unify the diaspora. Imagine somebody telling FBA we need to unify with all the tribalism in Africa. Pan-Africans never addressed Africa. He'll never address tribalism in Africa. Never. He's trying to tell us we need to unite. This is what I'm trying to show foundational Black Americans. Everybody want to act like we the ones need to unite, but ain't nobody else united. Even the Black revolutionaries like him ain't united. He not united with no Black revolutionary. That's what I'm trying to show you. He will not admit that the diaspora betrayed Black Americans. The Black diaspora sold everybody out. We only 50 million. Foundation Black Americans is 50 million strong. And we got more money than every African country. Yes, we 50 million strong, and we worth 2.1 trillion. The biggest African country is only worth 400 billion. He don't want this word. Listen, I'm going to repeat that. Foundational Black Americans, our economic worth is 2.1 trillion. Nigeria, the biggest country in Africa, only worth 4 billion. We worth 2.1 trillion. We've dwarfed Africa. $50 million. It's 200 million Nigerians, and they only worth 4 billion. 200 million. We 1/4 their number, and we worth 2.1 trillion. So Black Africans are coming here to get our money. We don't need nothing from them. Black immigrants are coming here because we the ones got the table, setting the table. We the ones got the bread. They don't got nothing. That's why Ghana and them is begging us to come over there to bring money. Ghana does not want you to come back to be treated like no brother or sister. They want you to come over there and spend money and bring money. That's it. And update tourism and spend money over there and buy land and get scammed out your money. Because when you go to Ghana, you go to Africa, they're going to scam you out of everything you got. Africa is the scamming capital of the Black world. So many Black Americans have lost thousands and thousands of dollars in Africa. So people say, well, I'm talking to him, so he's a threat. I'm punching the button. So I know y'all say, well, why are you dealing with him? Because them the ones I'm pushing the button on. I wanted him to come. He the one I'm talking to. He ain't no foundational Black American. That brother is from the diaspora. He's a tether. You ask yourself why he jumped over here. See, I be knowing psychology. He jumped over here because I'm standing on his neck. He know it. His name ain't no Shabaka. He's a fraud. He not going to do nothing for Black people. Okay? He ain't going to do nothing. He ain't going to do nothing for Black people. He ain't going to come outside. He's an internet fraud. Boy, he's not coming outside in Chicago. He's not coming to this city going to say nothing. He can't come here. He can't come here and say nothing to me. None of these internet dudes can come here and say nothing. They're just on the internet. They can't come here. Like I said, I was born in 1958. You can't do nothing. It's the internet, and they're mad because they've been pimping these philosophies for a fake reputation. We have a lot of brothers and sisters. They do the Pan-African thing like a costume party. It's like a way to play, like pretend. So they pretend Pan-African It's a pretend thing. You've never seen Pan-Africanism turned into no type of building. Name something that Black Pan-Africans in America are doing. Name one thing, one group that Sarah Soon said he have put together that's doing anything, even in Detroit. Just name one thing. He the general, right? They Pan-Africans. Name one thing Pan-Africans have ever done in recent years. Name one thing. They all about philosophy and just rhetoric. They ain't got no weapons. They ain't no real revolutionaries. They can't move and shake outside because the gangs won't listen to them. If you're a Black American, if you're in America and the gangs won't listen to you, you can't mobilize nothing. Pan-Africans can't come to Chicago and mobilize nothing because Pan-Africans haven't been active in the community to really know how to talk to the gangs. And if you can't mobilize the gang culture, you can't do nothing. We have serious penitentiary problems. We have recidivism. We have brothers that can't get jobs because they got criminal records. You don't really see them touch on any serious foundational Black American social issues. They try to overlook foundational Black American social issues to talk about some Peter Pan-Africanism, some make-believe. Pan-Africanism is make-believe. Make-believe. One of their leaders is Marcus Garvey, and he bought some raggedy ships that wasn't even seaworthy, and he's the head of Pan-Africanism. That's their big man. Pan-African's big man is Marcus Garvey, who bought a bunch of boats that wasn't seaworthy and went to prison for scamming. And the FBI told him if he goes sit down, they won't tell Black people what he really did. And they let him out and they didn't snitch on him and tell us what he really did to us. If he goes sit down, they won't expose him. Marcus Garvey was a 2-bit scam artist, okay? That took a whole bunch of money from Black people and took a little bit of money and bought some raggedy ships for less money and pocketed the rest of the money. And none of them ships was seaworthy. That's why when he went to Jamaica, they threw bricks and stuff at him. He had to flee Jamaica and go to Canada. The leader of Pan-Africanism was a scammer. Facts. Big Pharaoh. Yeah, Marcus Garvey was a scammer. Foundational Black American Pan-Africanism is a scam, a fraud. It never happened. It's full of scammers. Dr. Umar is a Pan-African. And he just like Marcus Garvey. Pan-Africans always trying to sell you Pan-African information. Go to my website and get some Egyptian shit. That's helping the Black people. I'm just saying. Yeah, they keep us off focus from economics, building, family, jobs, medical services. We need our sisters to go. We need our young people to go to medical school. We need our young people to learn technology. We need our young people to learn engineering, carpentry, plumbing, roofing. That's what I'm pushing for y'all. Go learn a trade. You understand? Not sitting around talking about some old ass shit back in ancient Egypt. Man, fuck ancient Egypt. Said he ain't standing on no Kemetic shit. He's a fraud. He's a bootleg. Look, let me tell y'all something about Kemet and royalty. Pharaohs don't like the last pharaoh. I repeat myself. When somebody become a pharaoh, they don't like the last pharaoh. The hell with the last pharaoh. So when you see these dudes pretending they represent ancient Kemet, worshiping some old ass pharaoh, man, the hell with them pharaohs. I'm pharaoh now. Look, I could prove it. In your city, when somebody becomes the mayor, what do? They go take the other mayor's name off of everything and put their name up. Am I lying? When somebody become the mayor in your city, don't they go take all the other mayors? It's the hell with the last mayor. I'm the mayor now. So anytime you see a so-called pharaoh or Seti or Sarah worshiping old pharaohs, they bootleg. Because me, they hell with them old pharaohs. I'm in charge now. Yeah, I don't give a damn about them. I don't give a damn about what nobody did no 15,000 years ago. I got grandkids. I don't care nothing about them dudes like that. What I look like reading about some old ancient Egypt stuff, and we need schools, and we need education, and we need jobs. I'm sending money to my daughter so she can finish and get her to be a nurse. She finna take her test. We need jobs. We need medical. We need real jobs. We need agriculture. We don't need no old ancient nonsense. No fool talk about no nonsense. Nobody want to hear that. You know why they ain't no Pan-African? Because Africa ain't unified. Ain't no such thing as Africa. There's no Africa, bro. There's nothing to pan. They just running a game. There is no unified Africa. So how you gonna have Pan-Africanism when you don't have a unified Africa? When Africa don't got an airlines, Africa don't got a shipping company, Africa do not have nothing. Africa is controlled by the Chinese, the Russians, the Americans, the French, the British. What you mean Pan-African? Africans don't run Africa. There's no such place as Africa, y'all. Africa is not united. Pan-Africans is selling you Africa. There's no such place as Africa. In terms of socially, Africa is just the shape of some land on a map. There's no such thing as Africa. Those people are not Africans. Those people don't know each other. The whole North Africa is Arabs and Persians and stuff. Egypt, what you look like worshiping Egypt, black people don't run Egypt. There's no such place as Africa. It's just a picture on a map. It does not exist. There's nobody there that call themselves an African. There's like 400 Nigerian tribes. There's not even no such thing as a Nigerian. Doesn't exist. What, is studying ancient Egypt going to fix your children's teeth when they got to go to the dentist? Is it going to provide medicine when you got to go to the doctor? Kwame Nkrumah couldn't unite no Africa. He couldn't even unite the country he was in. That's all fraudulent. That's all old information before we had the internet. And most people like me, when they learn information, they be like SETI. They say stuck on stupid. But me, I pivot. When I see new information, I throw the other trash out. But some dudes, they got so much pride. They feel like as they started out Pan-African, even though when they see it's no good no more, they stick with it and they push it to the community. I don't do that. I upgrade. No matter what I learn, when I see it's trash, I throw it out. I don't be like, well, I learned it. I've been teaching them. I'm going to hold on to it. No, Pharaoh ain't doing that. As soon as I see it's trash, I don't give a damn how long I taught it or whatever. I throw it in the garbage and be like, hey, all that stuff I taught the last 5 years is trash. It's trash. It's trash. I just found out it's trash. Yeah, all that stuff I was talking after further research is trash. Throw it in the trash. Because what I'm going to teach reading a book ain't what I'm going to teach when I get the internet and more information. And these dudes has got old washed up information. We got the internet now. We can get more details. Now I know it's 400 tribes in Nigeria. I didn't know that. So I'm thinking Black African unity. I didn't know it was 400 different niggas in Nigeria. If I would have known it was 400 different niggas in Nigeria, I would have never been no Pan African. I would already know that ain't going to work. Am I correct? We didn't know that. We didn't know the details we know now. A man is stupid when he got this belief system and then he get more details and he hold on to that belief system. The Black diaspora has betrayed us. They've never come to help us. They never bring nothing to the table, right? They show me one thing that the Black diaspora ever done. Name me one thing. Africa got all the natural resources. Name me one resource that any African leader ever sent foundational Black Americans. Just one thing. Name me one thing any Black Caribbean country ever sent us. What if Jamaica ever sent us? They ain't even sent us no coconut oil. What if Trinidad sent us? What if the Virgin Islands sent us? What have all the African countries, what have they ever sent us? So you got this Buster Sarasun Seti hollering us about Africa, but he ain't standing on African neck saying why they ain't sent him nothing. How you a leader and you in an area and you're not trying to do the best for your people if you're the leader? And you call yourself some leader up there in Detroit and you trying to talk about way over there. A leader's supposed to lead where they at. I'm a leader. I'm supposed to lead right here, right in the United States, right in Chicago, right here. That's a leader. I cannot lead in Egypt. I cannot lead in Africa. A general fight where he based at and teach where he based at. They want our reparations money. They just talking. You think these white people going to get them $1? White Americans don't like Black immigrants. White Americans don't like nobody that go against Black Americans. If white Americans going to pick a side, they're going to ride with their own Americans. They're going to ride with Black Americans all day. All day. Trump is throwing Black immigrants out. A lot got to do with because the way they've been treating us. Facts. He is not stupid. Don't let nobody fool you that Trump is stupid. White Americans do not like Black immigrants. When white people is like this, when they see you don't treat your own no good, they don't like you. And people going to always ride with the people they most familiar with. White Americans are familiar with us. They ain't familiar with none of them other blacks. Them other blacks, they try to sell us that the white man in America going to come get us. He the boogeyman. But we've been here since the start of the country. Ain't nothing happened yet, right? So why am I listening to some stupid dude in the Caribbean, Africa, try to tell me about white America that I done been living with my whole existence over here? White Americans have done more for foundational Black Americans than Africans or Caribbeans. I got some fool in Detroit hollering about Egypt. What if Egypt ever did for foundational Black Americans? Egypt ain't even Black no more. What has Africa ever done for us? Name one thing historically that Africa have done for the Blacks in America, just from from all the way back, from the 50s on up. Name me one thing Africa ever sent us or done for us. One. Africa has never done nothing for us. Because Africa know we not Africans. Africans know we are hybrid. We not no Africans. We got some African DNA, but we hybrids. We superhumans. We got Native American blood, white blood, black blood, and all that. We hybrids. We superhumans. That's why we better than everybody in the world. We hybrids. I got some African DNA. What that mean? I got everybody's DNA. Listen, y'all, don't let nobody tell you got African DNA. Foundation Black Man, you got everybody's DNA. We got the whole world's DNA. Facts. We global Black Americans as far as DNA. That's a fact. We got everybody's DNA. Not only him, we done been with Asians, we done been with the whole world. We have the whole world's DNA. All the different Native American tribes, we got their DNA. Some of the Native American tribes had Asian DNA. Yeah, we are an advanced species, exactly. Superhuman. Original man. If man was this, and then man went all over the world, and all the places floated, and you turned to different colors and stuff, and then after a while, a certain man and woman get back and breed back, that's original man. The foundation of Black American man and woman is original man. Yeah. Look at our women. We got the baddest women in the world. Tell me foundational Black American women don't look like every woman in the world. There is no particular look. Look at our queens. They bad, boy. They look like everybody. You could pick a queen that looked like she from anywhere in the world. Only with us. Ethiopian women all look Ethiopian. Nigerian women all look Nigerian. We the only ones. Our women is super fine. She finer than all the women. She the most beautiful woman. That's why they trying to overfeed her, make her fat, make her sick. That's a whole nother story. To make money, they want to sell us addictive food. Go follow me on Vegan Intel for that information. But we don't get no respect from no other Black. The Black diaspora has betrayed us. We've always been on our own. We've always been on our own. We've never got nothing from Africa, nothing from South America, and nothing from the Caribbean. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. The only we got was them running over here eating off of our table. They don't send nothing here from the Caribbean. They come from the Caribbean to eat off us. They don't send nothing from Africa. They come to take. All the Blacks come here to take what we create for Blacks. No Blacks send us nothing. Name me something Jamaicans ever did for us. Name me something Trinidadians, Ghanaians, Nigerians. Name me something one Black group ever did for us. Our way. None of them ever done nothing for us. Jamaicans want us to come down there and spend money with them. Africans want, all of them want us to come on vacation and give them money and spend money with them. Jamaica don't do nothing but take money from Black tourists. Jamaicans don't send us a quarter. They don't even speak on other Black leaders. They don't even speak on us and our plight. They don't even speak on us. When I was in LA and Jamaica had them big uh, 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 hurricanes, we the ones sent them money. Let something happen to us, it's going to be crickets. They ain't going to send us a goddamn thing. They ain't going to send us nothing. All they do is leech off of us. The whole goddamn reggae was just our stolen music. They ain't got no original music. They making reggae versions. Why do that? I just don't want to be lonely. On a reggae beat. Man, there's thousands of reggae songs. There's Black American songs. Thousands of them. Every damn love song they got down there is ours. They got a couple original songs with Gregory Isaacs and stuff. But listen, I play reggae. I've been in the reggae bands. A lot of music is foundational Black American music. They old swag, they got it from us, okay? They old swag. They old swag, they got it from us, okay? Real talk, y'all. Real talk. I ain't lying. They copy us, but they don't help us do nothing. When it's time for help, we can't find them. But when it's time to steal, we can find them. They watch us, they steal from us, they don't put nothing back on the table. Tell me I'm lying. Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Look at Smokey Robinson and the Miracle, and look at Bob Marley and the Wailers. Who copying who? You can see who got on the real suits, who really fly, and you can see who was broke and dusty and had on whatever cheap stuff they could buy to look like us. You can see the difference in the prosperity. Look how fly and clean they are. And look at Peter Tosh with them white socks on and some black shoes looking tacky as hell and dusty. With all due disrespect, look at the difference. Look who's the leader of the pack. And look who copying. Your people is the ones that been popping. Your people is the ones that have been fighting for rights. Foundational Black Americans fought harder to free Winnie Mandela than Africans. Foundational Black Americans was the main voice in the world to fight against apartheid. We did have some Jamaicans, don't get me wrong. But one of the first places Nelson Mandela came when he got out was New York. But nobody helps us. And that's what I've been telling the young brothers the other day on the streets to gangs. They got to stop gang banging because ain't nobody going to help them. They got to help each other. Because I be outside, I was telling the young gang brothers that y'all got to stop beefing because when something happens, ain't none of these other black people going to help y'all. Y'all all y'all got. To the black gangs out there, we all we got. We can't depend on nobody else, especially the black ones. We can depend on white Americans quicker than we can the black immigrants. That's a fact. The only thing we can depend on black immigrants is to beg us for money when a hurricane hit they stinking asses. But they ain't going to send us a goddamn quarter. They ain't coming spending no money with us. We going to Jamaica spending money with them, going to their hotels, tipping them. We don't make no money off no black immigrants, not a quarter. Black immigrants come to America and separate from us. They don't never bring nothing to the table. They don't join our churches or nothing. They men are scam our women and marry our women and rob our women and go back taking home to their African wives. But they never, ever helped us and never brought nothing to the table. So I'm not losing nothing from black immigrants. What I'm losing if they get mad at this life? What I'm going to lose? What going to happen? What I'm going to lose? They start these weird, like conscious groups. It be a scam. Like Sinetta TV. That wasn't nothing but a scam. Had nothing to do with helping black people at all. Doing religious debate. The Hebrews against the Muslims. Like nonsense. Nothing that Sinetta had was tangible to build black people at all. That's why I went over there, went off, and never went back over there. Because I ain't like the whole vibe. Dr. Reggie ain't no doctor, and he Reggie. And we don't mess with Reggie. We mess with high grade. We don't even mess with no Reggie. Bro, you Dr. Reggie. Next time I come over there, I had Dr. High Grade over there. I'm just saying. I ain't never messed with Reggie. No trash. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never brought nothing to the table, just scamming. Next thing you know, this dude got nice cars and stuff, and all with the people's money watching his channel. He buying Benzes and he buying everything from the European. Every dollar he get, he spend it with the European and get on there and talk some black stuff. And wasn't never standing on none of that. All that was a scam the whole time. I'm telling you. That wouldn't have nothing to do with helping on black people. That was like having bootleg debates and stuff and make money. That's all that was. Because people like, why you went on there wilding like that? Because I want them to come outside. I ain't trying to hear none of that scamming trash playing with me over there on that goddamn internet. I'd be nice though. So I never came here was calling me. But I ain't doing dirty. No, they ain't bringing nothing to the table but scamming. Yeah, I heard he running for Congress. Where in Florida, that's all the tether state. They ain't gonna benefit Foundation of Black America. What, he Bahamian or something? He ain't gonna do nothing for Foundation of Black America, man. Fuck Luke. He ain't gonna do nothing but go down there and help them Haitians and all them foreigners. He ain't gonna do a damn thing for Foundation of Black America. Luke is a tether. If y'all think Luke gonna help Foundation of Black America, you crazy. He gonna help all of them black immigrants in Florida. That's the only people he gonna help. That's the only people. Luke is not gonna do nothing for Foundation of Black Americans. You can believe that. I think he was talking against FBA, to be honest with you. I think he was talking against Foundation of Black America. Them doggone black immigrants, they always talk about we got to unite, but they be together and they be their own group. You ever notice that? Jamaicans be like, yeah, yard man, yeah, Jamaican man, yard man, right? Jamaican yard man. And then when you say we FBA, we separate. No, man, black people have to stick together. Man, the whole time you was only saying Jamaican. Nigerian. Ghanaian. As soon as we say we separate, we FBA, like, no, all black people have to be together. Y'all, what? Look at the brothers in the Caribbean. They is not together. You do not see Trinidadians and Jamaicans and Virgin Islanders are not together. Africans are not together. So imagine an African telling us we need to represent unity. Imagine that. On everything I love. Hey, Godfrey was on the show and they said we don't need to be having no tribalism, right? They said we don't need no tribalism. That we need to unite. They said we need to unite. And look at Nigeria. Check this out. Africans, shut your ass up about unity. Y'all look just in Nigeria. They not even Nigerians. Listen, Africans shut up talking to us. In Nigeria, they not even Nigerians. Check this out.
There's this term that I know people are not going to like this, but I don't like the term FBA. because I think it is the most separatist term. What it does, it furthers this idea of separation. My father used to tell me, I don't know what all these fuss is about. They are the same people.
You can't make, boy, they got 400 group tribes. And dude on there talking about, we need to unite. Talking to Foundation of Black Americans saying, Nigeria, saying Foundation of Black Americans need to unite because they don't know people like Big Pharaoh are gonna do you dirty. Okay? Bro, shut your ass up. Go to Nigeria and tell them to unite. He says, father said, you are the same people, not in Nigeria, fool. He said, his father said, I don't know what this. He didn't never say that in Nigeria. Why his daddy didn't go outside in Nigeria and tell a Nigerian, I don't know what this, it was the same people. I guarantee you, his daddy represents one of them tribes. His daddy don't represent no unity. And come over here talking out the side of his neck. That's why I'm in the dark. That's why they don't push me out there. Talk about unity. They lying, bro. He know he lying. He know he from Africa, and he know there's no Africans. He know there's 1 billion tribes in Africa, but he want to come to the United States and say we need to unite with 1,000 African tribes that ain't united. That's basically what he's saying. He said we need to unite with some ununited niggas, like some niggas that ain't united. We need to unite it. We need to unite with 371 different Nigerians, and that's just the Nigerians. And them niggas, Nigerians, Algerians, South Africans, they are a whole bunch of different Africans, countries, and a whole bunch of tribes within there. They Ethiopians, but the Ethiopians is Tigrayan and about 5 different groups in Ethiopia. And this fool want to come and talk down on us, saying that we need to unite. But him and his daddy ain't even united with nobody in Nigeria. And he got Godfrey over there bucking and everything, but they supposed to be intelligent. They'll never have Big Pharaoh on the show. Because I would embarrass. I said, boy, shut your ass up. Y'all got 371 tribes. I would have told him right on the show. What tribe are you? He would start studying. Now, what tribe is you as your daddy? Because you talk about unity. If it's unity, you shouldn't be from no tribe. Bro, you on here lying. Shut up. You're a football player. You go hut 1, you go hut 2, and you hike and shut up. Play football. The European got you over here to chase a ball. Got for you over here to tell jokes. You a ball chaser and you a joke teller. Let Big Pharaoh handle the history. Yeah, the dumb way. Yeah, you a ball chaser. They brought you over here to play football and chase a ball. Don't get up here try to act like you represent no type of knowledge. You're an athletic slave for the NFL. Godfrey, you's a bozo. Godfrey is a bozo that's an African that don't do nothing but impersonate foundational Black Americans. Godfrey, stop impersonating foundational Black Americans. Start impersonating Africans. Oh, that's right. Africans ain't popular. So you can't do no African impersonation because don't nobody know no damn Africans. And y'all all talk alike. Godfrey make all his money off impersonating us. See, I can't stand these people like that. And don't nobody check their file. Now, Sarah soon said he ain't going to check their file. He going to sit up here and watch me trash him, have me dog him out. Said he stop talking to me and get on your game and deal with these other people. Stop talking to me. You're a little boy. You a little boy, Sadie. You a little boy. Okay? It's rank and file in this game. When you get in the game, little boy, I don't remember you. I don't remember you in the 80s. I don't remember no Sarah, no Sue, nor no Sadie. Stay in your place, little boy. On my soul. You a little boy to me. You a junior. Shut up talking to me. You understand? You was a little boy. Stay in a little boy place. And in every sense of the word, too, I'm really commander in chief. I'm really outside. I've really got soldiers. I'm really highly respected. Name a gang that ain't honor me that I don't know nobody. Name one. Name a gang in Chicago. I can't call nobody. Who you think be out there telling them to chill? Who I can't call? BDs? GDs? Blackstones? All the various vice lords, the four corner hustlers? The blacks? Listen, I'm outside trying to help black gangs unite. The roughest of the roughest. Real work that we got to do to stop violence, trying to get them to start businesses. I'm telling black gangs, listen, you ain't got to go beg for no job because you got a criminal record. Y'all get together and start businesses. Open your own stores. Start garbage services. You don't need to beg Europeans for no job. These type of things we got to be outside talking about. But as far as foundational black Americans, I just want y'all to know, don't nobody love us. Don't nobody want to help us. All the black people around the world are jealous of us because we accomplished more than them, because we went into the belly of the beast and they wrote us off for dead. And they looked up one day and we was Diana Ross and we was Muhammad Ali. And they're like, what is this? They made it? They survived? Oh, I run to America. So then in the 70s, they all ran to America after they seen we survived. Look at the timeline when black immigrants came. They came after they seen our success. Nobody came up here in the 60s or in the early 70s. That's a fact. I'm born 1958. They wasn't running here when the police was sicking them dogs on us and them water hoses. That they wasn't running here. But as soon as they seen us become famous, here they come. Oh, I go to America. Soon as they turn on their TV in Africa and the Caribbean and see what's doing good, they ran over here. All the brothers from the Caribbean, they finally came up here and they start coming in the 70s. The majority of them came in the 90s. Some started in the 70s, more in the 80s, and a flood in the 90s. Africans, same way. All of the blacks start coming here in the 70s after we didn't need their help no more. After we didn't need their help. After we fought so they can get on planes, and they only came here to eat off our table. They never came. They never united. They never intermarried. They didn't even move in our community. Africans came up to Chicago and moved in the white community. Am I lying, YG 53? When Africans came to Chicago, they moved on the north side. Jamaicans moved up to Evanston. It was a couple lived down here, but Africans and Jamaicans, black immigrants, moved up where the white people was at, where the poor people in the white area, because the white areas got the poor part, right? The way they used to live. So black immigrants moved on the north side in the poor part. Them little buildings and apartments up there that they pay rent to them Europeans. Way up north, paying rent to Europeans that had property. That's where they was all at. And they was scary too. They was scared. All of them, including the Jamaicans. They was scared. They was scared to come outside like that. They weren't outside like that. They were scared. They were scared. They weren't outside like that. They were scared. They never really brought nothing to the table. They never dealt with the community. They never brought nothing to the community. They never had no events for the community. They never did nothing. Black immigrants, they never did nothing but take. They never brought nothing to the table. And anytime they had an event, you had to come into their world. They never come into ours. The Jamaicans is notorious for that. They'll come in the neighborhood, it's a dance hall, it's a reggae, it's something. But when we have something, they don't show up. I used to be a vendor, and I used to go to both kind of events, right? And when they have the reggae events, they all there. But when you had the black events, the Kwanzas and shit, Jamaicans didn't show up to nothing like that. Like an African Liberation Day and stuff like that, Jamaicans never, if it wasn't West Indian related, reggae related, they never showed up. That's a fact. Anybody tell you that? That's why you used to have to sell two types of different merchandise. They never showed up at pro-black stuff. Never. They don't come to Kwanzaa or none of our stuff. Never. Never. They stay separated. They'll get on stage and talk one love and unity, black people. But that's why with the reggae, that's why 95% of their gigs be in front of white people. They don't even perform in front of a black crowd. They don't do no back to school drives or nothing. They don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. They don't bring nothing to us. They just take. They just come to leech off us. That's it. They've never contributed in America at all to anything for black Americans. Never, not a quarter, nothing. I ain't kidding. If they ain't benefiting, if it's not for a day for black foreigners, they don't come like that. They ain't even really come to like African liberation days, like in LA and stuff like that. That would be all foundation of black Americans. Even Africans wouldn't come to African Liberation Day. They only want us to be consumers and run behind them. So that's why it was always strange with me, because I had my dreadlocks before I knew anything about Rasta. I had my dreadlocks. I was comedic. I wasn't no Rasta. See, I started growing my dreads representing Kemet, ancient Kemet. I met Jamaicans later. That's a fact. I met Jamaicans and started listening to reggae. By the time I started listening to reggae, my dreads was like almost 2-3 years old. When I started growing my dreadlocks, I ain't even know nothing about reggae. I found out about reggae when going to a health food store, and there was a brother out there giving them flyers, and I seen the other brothers had dreadlocks like me, and I went to the reggae show. That's a fact. I ain't know nothing about that. At that time, I didn't have my name legal. My name was Akhenaton at that time. I was always standing on ancient Egypt. I wasn't standing on Ethiopia. But I was always a revolutionary. I always was standing on black revolution and black people rising up. That's why I was always standing. I was always a revolutionary. I wasn't a reggaeite. I was always a militant. I was always like more like a Black Panther. I linked more to the Black Panther Party kind of vibe. I didn't lean towards no Irie, One Love. I didn't go that direction. This is how I came up, and then not just seeing that the brothers had dreadlocks and some of the songs was militant, so I just dealt with them. But I already had my own identity, so I was always a problem to the Rastas, because I was always Big Pharaoh. I wasn't never one of them following dudes like that. I wasn't never that. When I was doing this, Rasul said he was probably still sucking his mother's titty. He was a little baby. He was a little bitty baby boy. See what I'm saying? He was a little bitty, him and Sarnetta, they were little bitty, little. You know what I'm saying? Back here with Big Pharaoh. They were little babies. You know what I'm saying? They was little bitty babies back then. I ain't lying. They wasn't on my type of time. No, I was on some Fred Hampton. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was. I was on some Fred Hampton type of time. I wasn't on no One Love and Ivy and all that. I wasn't on that. The Black Diaspora they betrayed us. They never, when they seen we was doing good, other black people around the world, they did not come and help us. They came to eat off our table. They said, "Ooh, the blacks is in America eating. We gonna go eat too." They didn't have the value like we gonna go help them. They could have ate too, but they didn't have the value. Like, oh, the black Americans do good. Let's go link in. No, they was like, let's go eat some of their food. That was their whole. That was their whole vibe. That's why that vibe is like that between foundational black Americans and Africans in the Caribbean. Because it was never no black love with them. It was always eat off your plate. Always. They didn't have enough people to make no money. The Jamaicans came in and sold herb to our people. There wasn't enough Jamaica for them to sell ganja to. They go on 79th and go in the hood and was selling to us in LA. They was selling to us. They was in South Central. They couldn't get no money off themselves. They didn't have enough numbers to get no money. So they got all their money off of us and white people. They didn't build no economy because their numbers was too small. And they never added nothing to the table. When it came to us, they always quiet. Every time we protesting, the police unalive one of our own, do you be seeing Africans and Caribbeans in it? No. They act like it never happened. Remember Mike Brown? Remember all the different brothers that got hurt? You ain't see no black immigrants say nothing. You didn't see them come out with their flags then. If you want to come out with your Jamaican flag or your Nigerian flag, the best time to do it is when you showing support with us, right? When somebody unalive, when the police unalive us and we protesting, then you will come out there and show your Haitian flag. Like, you Haitians, we supporting our foundational black American brothers. Show me where you ever see any of their flags when we be out protesting for things that happen to us for what we want. Show me a Jamaican flag. Show me a Nigerian flag. Show me an Ethiopian Haitian flag. Show me one that come in solidarity with us. Now the European want to throw your ass out. Now you want us to come. No, bye. I can't wait till they throw y'all out. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, they'd be happy to throw us out because there would be more opportunity for them. So we're going to play the game the way the game played. If it was us, they would be rubbing their hands, kind of wait for us to get out so they can go take our businesses, take where we live and all that. All right, when they throw y'all out, we taking everything. We going to go get that money y'all used to get. We're going to play the game the way the game is played. And I'm going to make sure black people know this. And I was in the game. I was deep in it. I was around all the black immigrants early. And I know what I'm talking about. I was in it when we thought there was really Pan-African unity. I'm telling you, it was never. It was all a scam for black immigrants to make some money. And they used the pro-black movement to pimp, to make money. They never had no interest in uniting with us at all. They don't even have no interest in uniting with their own. How you going to unite? Like my mother used to say, if you and your sister fighting, who can unite with y'all when they see y'all fight? How we going to unite? What African group we can unite with when Africans hate Africans, when they got xenophobia right there in Africa? What make you think that we can unite with Africans that got xenophobia right now in South Africa? Right now, the South Africans told the Ghanaians, the Nigerians, the Ethiopians, all of them to get out because they're exploiting their own brothers and sisters in South Africa. And the only blacks that the South Africans say could stay is foundational black Americans, because they said foundational black Americans have came there and built businesses with them, went in business with them. This is what the South Africans have said. The South Africans have said the only blacks could stay is black Americans, foundational black Americans, because foundational black Americans, we went there and we'll get with a brother from South Africa be like, bro, let's go into business. And we'll go into business with bro. We the only ones went to South Africa and went into business with the South Africans. We didn't start business and hire them as workers. Look it up. They say the black Americans is straight, but all the other Africans got to get out. Now, think of the irony of that. The other brothers from the continent don't do nothing but exploit each other. The only one that go there and willing to work with brothers is us. Look it up. Yeah, those parades are disrespectful. Go home if you love your country. This is why foundational black Americans is voting for Republicans. This is why they wanted Trump. This is why they're going to vote Republicans. Because the problem with other blacks is our biggest problem. People saying, no, our biggest problem, we need deport. We need people deported. We definitely voting red. If we get our haters out of here and get people that's over here trying to eat off our table that don't like us out of here, we vote that. We vote whatever going to get immigrants out of here. And you can tell we right because you know what they say? You're going to be next. You're going to be next. Thanks for letting me know you're a hater. Get out. What kind of person would say you're going to be next? What that mean? They don't wish nothing but the worst for you. And they dumb. And send us where, fool? They sending you back home. We at home. They don't even want to admit that we at home. And so when you see a black immigrant say, y'all next, that show you misery love company. That show you they hate you. Because they saying they wish that they could deport us. That's what they saying. We wish they could deport you. Okay. You wish they could deport me too. All right. I wish they deport you first. Get out first. Don't worry about us. I'm glad you let us know that you really ain't got no love. Vic Mensa mama white. So ain't nobody listening to dude. Vic ain't black. Vic mixed. Vic, that's my man from Chicago, but Vic is mixed. So he got racial issues. So because he not black like that and he mixed, he be trying to over whoop on the black shit to make up for he high yellow and he not black like that. So Vic be trying to overcompensate. He be trying to overcompensate, like psychologically. That's what he trying to do. Because he know goddamn well that he ain't no African and they ain't gonna honor him in Africa. He would never talk to me. Because I'd be like, Vic, you know goddamn well they ain't gonna accept you in no damn Africa. I told him just like that. Vic, you know goddamn well they not gonna. Last time I checked, my mentor, he wasn't my mentor. That's just a nigga I met that was older. When I met Kojo, I was already me already. Kojo, I ain't had no goddamn, my mentor is Peter. Kojo wasn't my mentor. Kojo was the elder I met. You don't got your facts straight. My mentor's name is Peter. So you thought wrong. You need to study. You need to study. This is my mentor, fool.
My Egyptian name is Peter Elatan. And I didn't pick my name. So
Elatan. What's my name? Pharaoh what? Elatan. Kojo's name was Kojo Brown. My name Elatan. Pharaoh Elatan. His name Ptah. Egyptian, fool. So the last time you checked, You didn't really check good. You got to recheck your checking. Your checking need to be dechectified. You feel me? Yeah, this is my teacher right here, fool.
Someone picked it for me, you know. Ah, yeah, he gave us all Egyptian names. And
And this is in Chicago. I didn't meet Kojo till I got to Compton. Checkmate. Yeah, I didn't meet Kojo till I got to Compton. I keep telling you, Kojo was a Rasta man. I'm Egyptian. I'm not. I'm not a Jamaican Rasta. I'm a Kemetic Rasta. I made my own stuff up. So last time you checked, you was slow. And then today when you checked, you was slow. See, last time you checked, you was slow. Now, if I would have bet you a couple thousand, I would have took your money. Okay, I know it's embarrassing. And then my name is Pharaoh Ramesses all the time. Your name is not Black Mane Lion. You're Bootleg. You're Bootleg. I'm really Pharaoh, Big Pharaoh. You're a bootleg. So where we come from, you're not standing on nothing because you don't got no real name. You got a slave name. So now you're trying to hype yourself, Black Mane Lion. See what I'm saying? When your name Kenny Johnson, use your little boy. Your name Kenny Johnson or Reggie Smith or something. Okay? I'm just saying, all due disrespect.
over the years, I became Pithah by studying the ancient Egyptian, history. And I've seen the power in saying Pithah. They say, speak of the gods that they will live. Philadelphia, they even had a chance to go to Egypt with the arms sticking out, which is, and King Tut, and dealing with the one God concept, Atan. That's why I chose Atan. All of us was like Atan.
Atan. Pharaoh Ramesses El Atan. Kojo name was Kojo Brown. I met Kojo when I was living in Compton. That's not my mentor. That's not, no. Peter, I met in music college. Then I left music college and I went and started working downtown. And then one day downtown, me and my girlfriend went bike riding on the lake and we got to 63rd Bongo Beach and they was playing the drums. So me and my girlfriend stopped on our bike and watched them play the drums and P-Tie showed up. I'm like, oh, this the brother. I didn't even know his name. This the brother from music college. So we started talking. I looked across and there was a brother that had some dreadlocks. So I told the brother, Peter, I didn't know his name because I didn't remember it. I said, how he get his hair like that? He said, you just wash it and let it grow. He said, I got mine like that. I said, for real? And that's when I started growing dreadlocks. And then I started hanging with him all the time because he was vegetarian already and all that. So that's my teacher right there. That's like 1970. That's like 1978. I ain't meet Kojo till 1981 or something. Anyway, checkmate. No, ain't no Jamaican did a goddamn thing for me like that. I ain't never followed no Jamaican shit, bruh. I played reggae. I played bass. I adapted Haile Selassie into my Kemetic teachings because he had the Triple Crown. Big Pharaoh makes up his own concept. So I made up my own concept. I never was, Big Pharaoh was always Big Pharaoh. Yeah, Big Pharaoh was always Big Pharaoh. Any roster, any elder roster will tell you that. Matter of fact, the first reggae show I went to, Zadi Wadada gave me a flyer. I met him at the health food store. My queen name was Mayot. My queen name was Mayot, and my name was Akhenaton before I changed it legally. I never had no Rasta mentor and shit. Uh-uh. By the time I met Kojo, I was already Big Pharaoh. Well, I was Little Pharaoh, but I was already Pharaoh. Yeah, Kojo. I learned from different people coming along, but he not my mentor. You know what I'm saying? I came in through Egypt. My teacher was Sunra because Peter put me up on Sunra, and I started going to see Sunra, and then I sat up after shows and listened to Sunra for hours. So other than Peter, Sunra uh, was my mentor, to be honest. I came in on Kemet, bro. Yeah, I came in. I came in on ancient Kemet. I ain't come in on no goddamn Pan Africanism. You know what I'm saying? I ain't come in Pan African. Matter of fact, back then there really wasn't no Pan Africanism anyway. There wasn't no Pan Africanism in the late 70s. Pan Africanism didn't take off because Kojo wasn't no Pan African. Kojo was a Rasta. Rasta is like its own thing. I wouldn't say Rasta got some Pan African elements, but Rasta pretty much is its own thing. Pan Africanism didn't really blow until BET era with KRS-One and them. That's when that really became something. That's way later before Pan Africanism really became something in the community. Black people, we used to just look at it as pro-black. But the whole concept of Pan-Africanism come in with Poor Righteous Teachers, KRS-One and them. That was that, because if you look at Chuck D wasn't really Pan-African. Chuck D was a Nation of Islam revolutionary. See what I'm saying? Think about it. It's like there was multiple different, you know what I'm saying? Like Lord Jamar and them, they wasn't Pan-Africans. They was nations of gods and earth. So back in them time, it was other groups. It was the Nation of Islam, Nation of Gods of Earth, it's Rastas, it's the Kemetic Brothers, it's the Hebrew Israelites. So it wasn't really Pan-Africanism like that. Pan-Africanism was born. I'm going to show y'all, because I like to teach the young people. Pan-Africanism really came in through apartheid in South Africa and Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela really kicked off the Pan-African movement. That's way later. The Pan-African movement kicked off when Winnie Mandela talked about Free Nelson. I was back in Chicago by then. So this is what kicked off the Pan-African movement. I like to give my people the history. I'm giving y'all the real timeline. Kojo and them was Rastas. Rastas wasn't really Pan-Africans. They had some Pan-African concepts, but Rastas was really multiple concepts like Ital food. Pan-Africanism don't push Ital. Rasta push Ital as vital. So Rasta pushed repatriation, but that wasn't really considered Pan-Africanism. They pushed repatriation, rehabilitation, and uh, repatriation, rehabilitation, and reparations. But it wasn't really a Pan-African concept. It was a multi-concept because Rasta mostly main concept is Haile Selassie is God. That Haile Selassie, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. That's the basic of Rasta. And Ital is vital. Not really Pan-Africanism. Rasta wasn't paying a lot of attention to Africa because Rasta used to say, it ain't time to go back to Africa. That's what Kojo used to teach. It ain't time to go back to Africa because I'm giving y'all the real history. Watch this. Because, right? I'm going to tell you why. Because the Rastas sent, these are albums. The Rastas sent Mortimer Planter. He was considered the head of the Rastas, right? So the Rastas sent Mortimer Planter, right? To Africa. This is the man that went in the plane with Haile Selassie in Jamaica. So they sent Mortimer Planter to Africa to do some research. Mortimer Planter went to Africa, did some research, and came back to Jamaica and told the Rastas, Africa ain't ready. It's not time to go back to Africa. So Rasta was not really pushing Pan-Africanism in terms of going back to Africa because Mortimer went and pushed that when he went to Africa, Africa wasn't ready. He said Africa was worse than Jamaica as far as the condition. And so Rasta was on some globalists, like black people all around the world, right? Reggae was for black people all over the world. It really wasn't just strictly Pan-African, although it had an element, but that would be a misstatement. Black people didn't really turn up, and the Pan-African movement didn't turn up until apartheid got big. And that's what turned up Pan-Africanism. And that's what made everybody, Winnie Mandela the one made everybody start looking at Africa. Rasta didn't really do that. Winnie Mandela made Rasta look at Africa, actually. So everybody got into Africa because of Winnie Mandela and Nelson Mandela. Basically. Pretty much. And then I started selling like Marcus Garvey shirts and stuff like that. He represented Pan-African. So I sold Pan-African merchandise because I saw all the various merchandise, pictures of Farrakhan, all of, what I'm saying? But as far as Pan-African, I was a revolutionary wherever you at would describe me. Because when it's revolution, you ain't got time to go nowhere else to kick it off. You got to have a revolution. If it's a revolution, it's going to happen wherever you at. So you're going to revolt in Jamaica. You're going to revolt in Brazil. You're going to revolt in America. So I was more a revolutionary than a Pan-African. I didn't dress like a Pan African. I dressed like a revolutionary. This ain't no Pan African right here. But if you say so, you know what I'm saying? This somebody that's gonna pan your Africa. You know what I mean? I was more of a militant. You know what I'm saying? I was more of a militant, I would say. Because Pan Africanism meant leaving black people, and I never really bought into the stop trolling, bro. I never bought into the I never bought into the concept of leaving black people. I was thinking about moving, but I was gonna go to India and China and Africa. But I didn't like the idea of leaving black people. So I was always basically FBA before there was FBA. Because I was always like, I didn't want to leave black people. I wouldn't have been happy being in Africa. If somebody attacked black people in America, I would have wanted to be here. So my concept was, if something pop up, I'm gonna be here. That was my concept. That's what made me not go to Africa, because I didn't want to leave black Americans. That's what made me don't want to go to Africa. Because one day, because I was thinking about going to India, China, Africa, and one day the thought came to me and say, if you go to Africa and you turn on the news and somebody attacked black people in America, how would you feel? And I remember that morning, and that's when I decided, nah, I got to stay here. That's real talk. I had a guardian angel come to me and ask me, say, if you go to Africa and you turn on the TV and black people in America getting hurt and wiped out, how would you feel? I was still in Hawaii in the mountains. And that's when I said, all right, I got to stay here. I'm not leaving y'all. I wouldn't leave y'all. And then the concept of Pan Africanism is a concept that they got to unite. But the concept of me going to Africa, it really don't make no sense for me because I got 6 children, I got grandchildren. So it makes no sense for me to leave my grandchildren, my children, and my family to go to no damn Africa. Who does that? To me, it doesn't make no sense. And these are thoughts I had a long time ago. For you to assume I was a Pan African, you kind of stupid because I came up with that concept in Hawaii when I was young that I wasn't gonna go to no Africa because I didn't want to leave black people. I never wanted to actually long when I developed my concept. It didn't include going to Africa because going to Africa means leave my sister, leave my mama, leave my daddy, leave all my cousins, leave all my family in Alabama, leave all the black Americans I grew up with. So I never really uh, adopted the back to Africa concept. Because when you're young, you're trying to formulate your concepts. So you sprinkling around. But when you say me with my formulated concept, it wasn't Pan African. It was revolutionary, but revolutionaries fight wherever you at. My leaders was like Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton wasn't no Pan African. Yeah, we fight for reparations. Where was what photo taken? This one? This LA. This one? This is in Chicago in my parents' backyard. This one is in LA. So yeah, I wasn't really no Pan African. I was a comedic spaceman. I was a ancient Atlantean, Ethiopian, Egyptian spaceman. That's what I call myself. I wasn't no Pan African. With a little bit of, with just a little bit of, there we go. I think my device got accidentally disconnected. Let me see. Are we back? Are we back? Yeah, we're back rocking and rolling. So yeah, I was never really a Pan African, I would say. Not really. I was a militant with a little bit of gangster and hustler, right? And the black diaspora, people would say, well, why you really don't like the black? The black diaspora is really not really unified. I feel like foundational black Americans, it don't make no sense for you to get involved with something that's not solid and waste years of your life. The diaspora is not united. Africa is light years away from any type of independence. And what foundational black Americans need to do is just concentrate on where you live at right now and be ready to help each other for natural disasters and things like that. The concept of the diaspora is a waste of time. The diaspora really always won't help, but really never provide any help. So the black diaspora doesn't have any type of reputation of helping foundational black Americans at all. Like we don't get anything from Jamaicans. We don't get anything from West Indians. We don't get anything from Africa. Think about Africa. Africa got all those natural resources, right? What do they send you? They don't send us a piece of bubble gum. Seriously. Big old country, natural resources, 1 billion people. We only 50 million. What have we ever gotten from Africa? Nothing. We never got anything from any other black people, have never thought in their life to send us anything. West Indians, what do they send you? Do you get any coconut oil or anything from the Caribbean? Do they ever say, you know what? Let's send something to our black American brothers and sisters? What about the 52, 53 countries in Africa? What have you ever received from Africa? Africa got gold, diamonds, everything. What have we ever received? Why is it always expectations for us to do something? Why is the diaspora don't never got to do nothing? Y'all ever notice that? They don't have to contribute. They don't have to help nobody. Nothing. It's always us got to help Africa. And Africans never help nobody. Show me where Africans help anybody. They don't help nobody. They don't even help each other in Africa.
Ellen Stark. I am from Chicago, Illinois, from the United States of America. And I'm here today on the grounds of that everything that I've worked so hard for, even from America to Nigeria. And as I love this country and I fell in love with this country, I chose to invest here. And as I saw today, before there were gates, as you can see behind us. Now, as I come here today, I can see most of my dream and so many of our investments crumbled and shattered. I bought more than 6 plots and I intend to buy more. But how can I trust the fact that the more I invest is not protected because of what's going on here? And what we are appealing today, and me as an American from Chicago, Illinois, I'm speaking directly in the camera. As I'm here appealing to the Honorable, the President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to please come to our assistance, come to my assistance, because I can't make a reputation back in America as I have for this country. I speak so highly and so freely about Nigeria, and to come in back and invest into this wonderful country. But look at our investment now, over 700 billion down the drain. Please, Mr. President, I ask you for your mercy to come at our assistance in the Nigerian diasporas and all these investors who stand with me today to come and assist us and help us come to a conclusion with this matter. Thank you. Once again, my name is Dr. Kimberly Stark. I am from the United States of America, Chicago, Illinois, and especially to honor our President Tinubu, who also used to reside in Chicago, Illinois. Thank you.
She invested all that money in Nigeria, and they took her money and tore her property down. They took her money and they tore her property down. Okay? The diaspora don't do nothing for us. That's all make-believe. They don't do anything, okay, for us. All right? It's make-believe. Okay? It's make-believe. You're going to go over there and you're going to lose everything you got. That's what you're going to do. There's no love. They've never helped us. They've never sent us a quarter. And the brothers and sisters that did go over there and try to do something lost all their money.
We were driving past this place, so this is Cape Coast. Not quite sure what's happened. They've just come and knocked somebody's building down, just like that. It's crazy. So apparently the people who sold the land to him are saying his lease is up, but we all know he hasn't been here for as long as they're saying. They're saying 50 years is up, but we know he hasn't been here for 50 years. And people are here looting it, like looting what they can out of the building. This is so sad and so tragic. And you know, if this person who owns this place has been treated unfairly, then there really is no justice in this country. And that is tragic, and that is really sad, and it just breaks my heart. I'll see if I can. So this guy whose face I'm not going to show, he's saying that he had the guy who owns it had a 50-year lease, and then the MCE, who is a government official in this place, has sold the land and has just turned up and is knocking the building down. There he is, the guy in the checkered blue and red. That's the MCE. Absolute disregard for justice. If this is how authorities act in this country, then we're really in trouble. This is so bad. So bad. Oh, right.
And look, they're trying to steal our roofs and the sidings and stuff.
So what, they just turned up, no notice?
This morning they turned up. I wasn't here early when they turned up.
Right.
Our people were cooking in the kitchen. They turned the electric off, and then they started dismantling the building.
Wow.
They took the grates, that building right there.
Yeah. That one, yeah.
The building right here that's destroyed right here. Yeah. I just heard when I was in Cape that somebody put it on our site that that building was still, I have pictures of that building. It was still up. But they'd taken all the windows out, all the doors off, and the grates, the security grates. That was the only building we had that was secure. That building back there behind the water tanks is the kitchen. So they were preparing food there this morning for the lunch that we do every day. There's a vegan restaurant that people order food from and come and pick it up here. And that's how I found out what was going on.
Oh, man.
I called to order some food.
Yeah.
And that's when they told me
they
shut down everything.
Oh my gosh.
And that
how are you still standing? You're impressive.
How
are you still standing?
Oh, well, you know, we have to be strong in situations
Yeah, oh
like
my
this.
gosh.
That's a brand new light pole they turned down right there. That light pole just got put in.
They're gonna pay for all of that,
All
bro.
that new wood, they got that shit we just got to put in this Diaspora.
Yeah.
Now they got the scavenge all these that feed the sharks over here. That's what they in trouble, man.
Yeah, they're gonna pay for all of that. Yeah, they're gonna pay for all of that. Yeah, they're gonna pay for all of that. Yeah. Hey, hey, why are you taking that? Excuse me. Hey, why are you taking this? I got your picture. Who told you to take this? Are you secure? Are you with them? You see them taking this stuff here?
What I tell you? Told you. You ain't getting no type of respect like that. We don't have no friends like that. We got to do for ourselves. We have extreme jealousy, okay? And a lot of brothers that teach ideological concepts don't want to admit that. We deal with extreme jealousy. Jealousy. They won't even sit down and take time to find out about the paperwork or nothing. They just destroy all that investment just like that. Like, even if it's somebody else's land, there's a better way to do that. That's straight hate. He's a black American thinking he a Hebrew Israelite. But to them, you ain't no Hebrew Israelite. You're a foundational black American. And you over there trying to do business over there on their land where they outnumber you and they can just bully you. What you gonna do about it? If he had to be calm or they would have hurt him. Yeah, they would have hurt him. Go look and see what's going on right now. Why would you go somewhere where you don't have security forces to protect you? Come out Africa and brothers and all that. Well, you don't do your research. They ain't even brothers to their own people. You don't see what's going on in South Africa? How the South Africans chased all the other Africans out, tore up shops, hurt people, all of that. Just last month, the month before. Xenophobia is real in Africa. Jealousy is real all around the world. Those are the same people coming over here. I'm just showing you. Those are the same people coming over here. Just look how some of the Haitians over here is talking because we won't go stand up for the Haitians. Show me where the Haitians ever stood up from us. When Mike Brown got unalive, you seen any immigrants with their flags or anything? I can name how many times the police underlined foundational black Americans. You ain't never seen no black foreign flags. That's Ghana, but Nigeria, yeah, Nigeria get attacked by Islam and all that. But show me where any of our protests, where our people been hurt, show me any black groups out there with them flags standing up for us. I ain't never seen it. Sandra Bland, did you see any black immigrant flags and all that stuff they like to wave for her? Like, oh, we Haitians, we out here for Sandra Bland. We Jamaicans, we out here. That's the time to wave your flag to show white America some solidarity with us. Man, you don't see none of them flags when something happened to us. It'd be silent. But soon as a hurricane or something hit one of them islands, they begging us to send them money. You know how much money we sent over Hurricane Gilbert from Black Americans in Jamaica? And what have Jamaica ever sent us? A quarter? When have you ever seen the Jamaican government send us anything? Them black countries don't send black Americans a piece of bubble gum. Oh my soul. They don't send us nothing. We got to stop sending them people anything. You can't let people run over you like that. They're not your friends, and they're not your family. They are jealous of you, and you're on. We are all we got. Remember that saying? We are all we got. But you didn't never really pick up on that saying. You did. It's been telling you. All of that diaspora unity stuff is phony. 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 Look, how many black brothers and sisters in the United States are Muslims? Show me where any African black Muslim country sent them a quarter. They Muslim brothers. There's a lot of Muslim countries in East Africa. Show me where they gave a quarter to any Muslim brothers and sisters. They might give some money to Farrakhan, but that's not us, that's Farrakhan. Show me when we have any type of anything that any black in the diaspora ever do anything for us. They always begging us for our money when they have a tragedy. But they don't do nothing for us. But just eat off our plate. That's it. And come try to take food out of our mouth. I'm telling you the facts. The black diaspora is some haters. Listen, do you know how far foundational black Americans could have went if we had support from the black diaspora? How much help has Africa sent black Brazilians? How much help has Africa sent black Jamaicans? How much help has any African country sent black Trinidadians? None. These are just facts. Africa is worthless. Scam and send it back home. And then they don't even like each other. What make you think that you're going to go to a continent and somebody going to like you on a continent where they all don't even like each other? They don't even like the people living in the same country. They got all them tribes. What make you think they're going to like you? My friend Zakia, we was young, and we went to Hawaii, but she went to Kenya. They broke her heart. I tried to tell her. Exactly. We protest when they get shot down, for example, whatever his name is. Right. And the other, yeah, but they don't do nothing for us. So my friend, we went to Hawaii and she went to Kenya. When she went to Kenya, they broke her heart. They told her, you Ferengi. Broke the sister heart. She was into that Pan-African stuff. That we all, no matter where you come from, as long as you're a black man, so she really bought into that. She went to Kenya, they treated her like dirt. She came back to LA, came to Hawaii where we was at. She's still in Hawaii right now. I called her on the live a couple times. Last time I called on the live, she didn't want to discuss it. It's so heartbreaking. They treat the sister like a dog. She went all the way to Kenya thinking that was her brothers and sisters. They look at her like, you ain't our sister. We don't know you. You Ferengi. Broke her heart. She was a young Rasta queen. Broke her heart. Look over in Ethiopia where they tore down all the Rastas. Shashamani, the so-called Holy Land where the Rastas went, they tore down they temples and everything over there. Chased them out of there. Most of them Rastas had left, fled Ethiopia. Talking about Kanda Shashamani. Got over there, man. Them people dogged them out. Bulldozed the whole Rasta temple down. They took all that year to build that Rasta situation in Shashamani, Ethiopia. Man, they bulldozed it. On my soul. Knock their stuff down. Over there playing around. Now people like, get your ass out of here. We don't honor you like that. Sure did. We don't honor you like that. On my soul. Because them people don't like Haile Selassie in that area, in Shashamani. Them Aroma, Haile Selassie is Amara. Aroma don't like Amara. That's what I'm trying to teach my people. It's all confusion over there. Look, many Rastas was chased away, but we're determined to remain. Ethiopia's religious community under threat. Yeah, they chased your ass out of there. Boy, you not know Ethiopia? Them people is into tribalism. Them people into tribalism, man. We got to focus on us. The black diaspora has already betrayed us. They never done nothing for your great-great-great-grandparents. They haven't done nothing for your great-great-grandparents. They haven't done nothing for your great-grandparents. They haven't done nothing for your grandparents. And they have never done nothing for your parents. You have never got nothing from Africa. Not a dime, not a quarter. You've never got no finances from Africa. You've never got no natural resource from Africa. They ain't even sent us no cocoa butter. They ain't even sent us a jar of cocoa butter. And they in the motherland. Ghana got gold. A lot of them countries got gold. They could have helped us open jewelry stores. Duke the jeweler was doing jewelry. Africa sent him some gold. No, Africa don't do nothing from us. But Africans run over here to eat off our plate, to come take away from and be nasty. Because Africans, most Africans I meet are not nice. Like out of 10 Africans, 2 of them will be nice. The other 8 is some a-holes. I don't know about you. I go to the Ethiopian restaurant and eat. It look like they only talk to me because I'm there spending money. It don't look like they would talk to me if I wasn't spending no money, though. They act stuck up. I'm telling you, the black diaspora has betrayed foundational black Americans. And you know what I say. Get them out of here. That's what I say. Yeah, they said go there. They don't do nothing for us. And now that we're fighting for foundational black Americans and fighting for reparations, look how everybody acted. Look how everybody acted. And young people, you know what? Here's a lesson. Read this. You can tell who's with you when you start fighting for something. When you start fighting for something, that's when you can tell who's with you. And we fight for reparations, who's with us? Nobody. Not no blacks. Name a black country or group of blacks that's not foundational black Americans that have came out and stood up for our reparations. You understand what I'm saying? Because the only blacks I ever met that stood up for us was the old rosters. They was cool. The old rosters back in the 70s, they was legit. They was real rosters. They really would have did something with us, whatever. The old rosters. The newer rosters, those Sunsplash rosters, those reggae rosters, those are not the original old brothers. They was cool. They was the coolest of all the blacks, the old rosters that came in the 70s. They was cool. They was real. They was real. But the Sunsplash group came, they wasn't really rosters. They was perpetrating a fraud. They was reggae-ites. And then the old rosters couldn't do nothing for us because the Jamaicans hated the old rosters. Real talk. The Jamaicans hated the old rosters, so they couldn't help us much because they weren't even respected in Jamaica. They couldn't even go to town. They couldn't make no money or nothing. That's why the Bobo Shanti started making belts, shoes, clothes. They had to make their own clothes, their own belts, their own crowns, their own shoes, grow their own food, build their own place to live. That's why they was up in the hills. They couldn't go to town. Those ones, they was really real. That's a fact. But they couldn't do nothing. They was starved. They was poor. And they was exiled pretty much. They couldn't really function in the country like that. Like back then, they couldn't even get a hotel room. They couldn't get a hotel room. They couldn't go to town. Like my elder, he couldn't go to town because if they catch him, they would unalive him. He couldn't even go see his mother. You know what I'm saying? They was the only ones that was really solid. Was the old rosters from the 70s, 60s, and the 70s. They was solid. Y'all didn't get to meet them. Y'all meeting the reggae-ites. They fake. Those are not really rosters. Those are impersonators. Facts. The only blacks that came here that was riders was the old rosters. They was really with unity and really had love, like for real. That's the only friend we had from another black country is the old rosters. Y'all too young, so y'all didn't get to meet those brothers. By the time you got up in the 80s, they was all disappearing and the frauds was taking over. The principles changed, the ideologies changed, they changed everything. They was reggae-ites, they wasn't rosters. So I ain't gonna leave out the original rosters. The original old school rosters from Jamaica was 50 billion times better than the Africans, for sure. The Africans didn't even help them, and they was real. Them was the only blacks standing on something in the whole diaspora. Was the old rosters from back in the 70s. They was really with it. The old ones, you got to go back. You know what I'm saying? Once Sunsplash got big, that was the Impastafarians, you know? That was the Impastafarians. That was the Renter Dread, where it would be, you know, run behind the Europeans and sell his soul. You know what I'm saying? That group. So by the time reggae really started getting big, it would start getting more and more and more and more and more watered out, watered down. And a lot of that next group, they end up getting on powder. So they end up having addiction problems. That's why so many of them passed away under suspicious circumstances. Real talk. These are ones that came over in the early 70s to the mid and late 70s. They was cool. The fraudulent ones come in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. They was criminals, a lot of them. They all ended up going to jail, getting deported and all that. They wasn't standing on the principles. The old ones were standing on the principles. I used to live in Compton. And in Rasta Kojo. That's the first time I seen somebody let just a regular black American smoke the chalice with no dreadlocks or nothing. I was like, what the hell? It was very interesting. I was like, whoa. He lived in Compton and he was around all the black Americans. That group went away. Yeah. Yeah, that group went away. Now, they was real. And they was definitely regular black people. Back then, you didn't smoke chalice with nobody but another roster, but Kojo smoked with all the black folks in Compton. I was like, wow. So did. It's crazy. Brethren Kojo in Compton, California. And you can bet the black man sitting next to him, that's a black American. For real. That's the black Americans. All the black Americans loved Kojo. He would smoke chalice with them. They wasn't even rostered. I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Because in Chicago, rosters was just smoking with rosters, but Kojo was smoking with their neighbors, with the black American neighbors. It was tripped out. I'm like, wow. I ain't kidding. After that group and them, that's when the fakes came. The tethers. He ain't no tether. But the ones after him coming was all tethers and criminals. And preferred European women over black women by far. Real history. So you all, we all we got. I'm not saying hate on no black immigrants, because hate is a waste of energy. I'm just saying, just don't deal with them. Don't hate them, because you're burning too much energy. But just don't lock in with them. Don't expect them to lock in with you. Lock in with other foundational black Americans. That's what you do. Lock in with your own tribe. That's what you do. Because other than that, you're going to be wasting your time. Now, sometime they'll be younger, but like their daddy will be a Jamaican and their mama will be a black American. They cool. They cool. Because they go through a lot. They be on both sides. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not pushing no hate. So I don't believe in hating no black people. I don't believe in hating no Africans. I don't believe in hating no Nigerians. I don't believe in hating nobody from the Caribbean. I don't believe in hate. But I'm saying in terms of getting something done, I can't get nothing done with them. I'm not going to hate them, because that doesn't get nothing done either. So I'm not pushing to hate black immigrants. I'm saying that we got to focus on ourselves, and we can't be wasting time debating them or discussing what we got to do with them. They got to do them. We got to do us. We burning too much energy if we going back and forth with other blacks. That's not going to build our nation. You understand? That's not going to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? We gotta focus on what we got to do. That's what we got to do. I'm just trying to help young people not waste no time with black people that do not have your best interest. They got to get checked. Yeah, they got to get checked if they're out of line. But the main thing is to not let nobody come in and waste y'all time as foundational black Americans and focus on your own plight, right? Because You got to understand, black immigrants, it's not like it's directly personal. It's a social thing based on the system starving everybody out. So now they starving, they going around the world looking for opportunity, right? So look how they did Haiti. So the Haitians has got to leave Haiti and they got to go and try to get it how they live. See what I'm saying? But the thing is, they not thinking right is my point. I understand you got to flee. I understand you got to go, but you're supposed to link in with the black Americans. You're supposed to link in. And then if they honestly trying to link in, then if you're a black American, you're supposed to link them in. So if I go to Ghana and I'm honestly trying to link in, right, then the Ghanaians need to link me in, right? You see what I'm saying? Don't be trolling using God, Montez. You know what I'm saying? If you trolling using God, bad things gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Bad things gonna happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? Using God like that. You're gonna curse yourself, bro. Don't do that. You know what I mean? So to me, to the brothers and sisters from the diaspora that watching me, y'all stupid, y'all slow. You know what I'm saying? To me, you know how some people would feel like would feel anger because we was betrayed. I'm just stating that betrayed us, but the betrayal works worse against them. So that's what make it even worse. Because they're hurting themselves by betraying us, which is just crazy. That's what I don't understand about them. That's what I don't understand about black immigrants, especially Africans. I ain't tripping too much on the Caribbeans because they ain't got all them natural resources and stuff. The Africans is the biggest problem because the Africans could be helping the Jamaicans, the Trinidadians, the Black Americans, and everybody in the diaspora. They sitting on the natural resources. They sitting on the ability to do fair business, but no. So many Nigerians are scamming that they giving Nigerians a bad name. Why won't you do good business? I don't understand. And you on the motherland with all them natural resources. I don't understand why the Africans ain't dominating the natural resources and doing good business with the diaspora. I don't understand that. It's more confusing and unbelievable than it is something to get mad about. You know how slow you got to be in Ghana, South Africa, and don't come over here and open up no jewelry stores with foundational Black Americans that don't send diamonds and gold over here and get jewelry stores? Do you know how many wedding rings and wedding bands and jewelry that we could be selling? Do you know how much sugar and stuff we could be getting from the Caribbean and stuff? Coffee and all that? I don't understand why blacks in natural resource areas is not getting the natural resources to the foundational Black Americans to create markets. I don't understand that to save my life. The foundational Black Americans are the main people that create the market. You got the natural resources, we could create the market. What the hell's wrong with you? You run over here begging for a job when you could be just sending the natural resources and getting rich where you at. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that Ghana is not working with black Americans to come out with chocolate candy and chocolate products. It makes no sense. Ghana got all that cocoa, but won't put us directly in the game as the manufacturers and the resellers and the wholesalers, and they be the one to supply the natural products. And then with the stuff we make over here, they turn around and they can also make it over there. So they could be doing from the rooter to the tutor right there. If they send us the candy bar, we make the candy bar world famous, and they got the chocolate now. They can manufacture the candy bar right there. So they getting selling the natural resources, and they could do the wholesale with the products made and the retail. That's a lot of money. I don't get it. I don't get it. So that's what I mean. They betrayed us because they come and trying to compete with us rather than get the bag. Like I don't understand why you trying to compete with some people already competing. We already got enough headaches. We already got everybody trying to step on us. The Asians, the Indians, the whites, everybody. You would think that the blacks would be like, man, we need to get on some international black stuff. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. That's what I mean by they betrayed us. Because they did not, come on, bring something to the table. The South Africans see it. They hiring foundational black Americans and they starting businesses. We so slow. If you look at Africa, the Caribbean, and America, and Europe and the blacks, you know how much money that is? Crazy. Do you know how much money that is with direct business with each other? That's a lot of money. You coming all the way from Africa over here begging for a job, and you sitting on all them natural resources. It's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm gonna tell you something. There's some black Americans that be talking crazy about people in the Caribbean. There's people in the Caribbean talking crazy about black Americans. Them two, they wrong, but what's egregious is Africa doing it. Africa, what the hell? That's what's so horrible. Africa, all them black people, all them natural resources. Just let that sink in. All them black people, all them natural resources, and the black people in Africa ain't doing business directly with the blacks in the Caribbean, directly with the blacks in Brazil, directly with the blacks in America, the blacks in Canada. What the hell? That makes sense, y'all? You come over here from Africa looking for a job and you got all the natural resources and you try to compete with me for a job? It's known that the African women, they come over here, they be nurses. They be the meanest nurses, right? They be the meanest nurses. It seemed to me you would come from Africa, be a nurse, hook up with black American women, be a nurse, start opening up y'all nursing and get the bag. That what it seemed like. It seems like if you was a black woman from Africa, you want to be a nurse, you'll come here, you'll try to link up with the black women or black Americans that want to be a nurse and start y'all own nursing companies and shit. And then that could go global because you got international blacks. Uh, we always be dropping the bag. That's why I can't come too hard on the Caribbean. The one we got to get down on is the Africans the most. They got the whole big ass side. They got Africa. And they ain't standing on nothing. The blacks from the Caribbean ain't got all them natural resources the blacks in Africa got. They the main culprit to me. The Africans could turn everything around if they just stop tribal war. Like I said, the South Africans is getting big money working with foundational black Americans. They get money. But they got to throw the other Africans out because the other Africans is on some old crazy stuff. Unnecessarily. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. They done betrayed us and left us over here for nothing, like with nothing. We had to get everything on our own. It's crazy. It's a shame. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. And it's getting to a point we ain't gonna be able to fix it. Because once you let these people go super digital, it's gonna be over for us. We could have made something happen in the cash world, but when they go cashless, it's gonna be a wrap. He ain't on nothing. I don't like dude. Yeah, I don't like dude. Yeah, I don't like Torre. I don't like her. To me, he a fraud. I don't like him. Because he talking all this stuff, but he's sitting there smiling with the Chinese dude and the Russian dude. They ain't gonna do him nothing but snake him. To me, he ain't no real revolutionary to me. He a bootleg revolutionary to me. Because there ain't no way he's supposed to be trusting the Russians and trying to make me think he no real. He looked like a plant. He looked like something that the powers that be making us a revolutionary. He looked like a European made revolutionary to me. To me. He looked like a European Chinese made revolutionary. To me. They're gonna use him up or they're gonna get rid of him. Yeah, I don't like dude. I don't trust him. To me, he a sucker. That country ain't gonna go nowhere. They're gonna use him and they're gonna put him in a body bag. I already see already. He ain't going nowhere. He's slow. He ain't looked at the revolutionary playbook. He ain't going nowhere. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. That's to me, that's make believe hype. He represent make believe hype. That's a plant. That's a fake. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. They already got him. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. He a make believe leader. You can't go nowhere with when you do moving like this. That's how he moving. He's surrounded by insurgents. You know what I'm saying? He a goofy. Yeah, he a fake revolutionary. He ain't no damn revolutionary. He ain't going nowhere but to the grave. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. I seen already, but I already seen this movie. When you see them flags, like the Russian flags and stuff, and you try to pretend you independent, but I see the Russian flag, I already know. He ain't gonna accomplish nothing. They're gonna use him up and spit him out. Y'all young though, so I get it. But he ain't no revolutionary. He already in their pocket. Yeah, he already in their pocket. He done. He ain't going nowhere. That little G.I. Joe outfit ain't gonna get it. Them people ain't gonna help you like that. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. Them people is not gonna help you. They gonna come to collect. That's for sure. Yeah, he ain't. I don't pay him no attention. He a fake revolutionary. He ain't got a chance in hell. That's for sure. Them people ain't gonna just help you. You know what I'm saying? Them people not gonna help him. Like you think them people gonna really help him? You might as well stay how you was. You say, I don't need any help. I'm just a butler. I tried to give advice. All my friends are safe. They're not here. It's all a waste of time. None of these speech. Yeah, you definitely is a waste of time trolling. Come back tomorrow. Look at this. This a this bikini. This bikini. You already know what it is. You already know what type of time they on. They going for the okie doke. Yeah, well, we've seen this movie already. I've seen this movie. Yeah, I've seen this movie. I already know how this movie going in. They got him surrounded already. That's the Russian flag. That's the Russian flag. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Look at the professionalism in the dude in the front. And look how bootleg the brother is in the back. Which one looked like a soldier and which one looked like a drunk? Look, dude playing G.I. Joe. Never shot a taken. It's like, look, posing. Look at the Russian flag at the top. So you got to learn how to look behind the picture. You see the Russian flag? Well, we learn. He bouncing between people. The Russian man looks like the drunk. Yeah, okay. So the soldier looked like the potbelly black dude. Okay. The African looked like a real soldier. Which one looked like the mercenary and the killer? Not the brother. The one with his face covered up looks extremely dangerous. Anytime you're a white dude in Africa with military clothes on, you're a problem. I'm trying to tell you. They over there, man. Don't even get me started. So that's that, y'all. That's the end of that conversation. Look, when will brothers wake up? See his picture? Look how dude with the mask on looking at the camera. Look, they got mask on. They got mask on. They not going. Look, they unidentified. Although I see the dude back there got mask on, so it might have been doing COVID when they took this picture, because I see the brother got a mask on. So I might be overreading the mask. But that's interesting too, because y'all gonna catch COVID and he ain't. But even his position, the way he's standing behind the brother and the way he's looking at the camera like, don't shoot no films of me. I've seen this movie a lot of times, so don't pay no attention. They build somebody up as the revolutionary, then next thing you know, and that's that. So stay positive, and foundational Black Americans, stay on your square. You don't got to hate nobody else, but we definitely got to figure out how we're going to work together to get something accomplished. Let's just keep pushing this FBA concept. We definitely need to delineate for sure. And it's not about beefing and it's not about hate. It's about identifying yourself because you can't get nothing done if you don't identify who you're working with. So when you see people mad because we delineating, you ask yourself, why would they be mad? Everybody else is already delineated, right? So they say, why we delineating? Well, what's a Nigerian? What's a Ghanaian? That's delineation. I don't see nobody complaining because they Nigerians. I don't see nobody complaining because they Congolese. Just think, look how they do us. I don't see nobody complaining because they Jamaicans. But we want to call ourselves something, and it's like we separatists. But everybody's called something. Think about it. Everybody is called something, but they tripping because we call ourselves something. Boy, you cannot make this up. So we're going to leave on this again. Africans sure can't say nothing because just look how many Nigerian tribes and division they got. Victory.
There's this term that and I know people are not going to like this, but I don't like the term FBA because I think it is the most separatist term. What it does, it furthers this idea of separation. My father used to tell me, I don't know what all these fuss is about. They are the same people.